Hi, and welcome to this program. My name is Anke, and I will be your guide and one of your teachers through this exciting journey. Since you're here, I probably don't have to convince you that social media is shaping how we live and do business today. Social media has the power to change lives and businesses beyond recognition. It can launch products into stratospheric success in brand new ways and give immediate access to millions of customers, literally delivering messages into their pockets. We learn of good news, sports results, births, birthdays, our friends' trips, weddings, first school days, latest dance moves and cookouts, all in the blink of an eye or the scroll of our thumb, and social media is what frames our reactions. It's the construct we use to connect to others and to tell our stories. Social media is a perfect medium for getting your story out there and for connecting with people. That's true for your personal story, but social media also offers a platform for businesses to connect to customers and potential customers, which has opened a whole new world for marketing. With social media, marketers can become part of the conversation, and when done well, social media marketing can help businesses launch products, generate sales, and provide excellent customer service. Good social media marketing involves making authentic connections and providing value through content and interaction. It's a bit of a mix between art and science, and this program will provide you with all the skills and tools you need to do it well. Whether you are looking to start a career in social media marketing, whether you work for a Fortune 500 company, a tiny little mom and pop shop, or are simply interested in marketing your own brand and story on social media, then this is the course for you. You don't need any experience to get started. We'll start from the very beginning. The only thing you need is an appetite for social media, willingness to put stories out there, and a Facebook or Instagram account. This program will look at all aspects of social media marketing, and we will cover all the important social media platforms. We'll focus quite a bit on Facebook and Instagram. These apps are central to the social media marketing world, and mastering those applications will set you up for future success. More than that, Meta has partnered with us to create this course, and we're delighted to have them on board. We'll cover the theory behind social media, and throughout this program, you'll also get cutting-edge, hands-on experience through working on our carefully curated projects. We've worked closely with the team at Meta to get a better understanding of the crucial steps that make social media marketers successful, and those are exactly the things you'll get to practice in our projects. These specially curated projects are a golden opportunity to put what you've learned into practice. And after you successfully complete them, you can even use them to create a portfolio to showcase your talents to future employers. Not only is this program wonderful fun, it will help you hone your content creation and social media marketing abilities, and it prepares you for entry-level roles as a social media marketer. Upon successful completion of the program, you will earn both the Coursera certification and the Meta Digital Marketing Associate certification. These certifications are valued by hiring managers across industries. It doesn't matter if you want to work for a sports team or for a movie studio, for a massive tech company or for a local photographer, these certifications matter because mastery of social media is essential for every business today. And employers love to see documented proof of what employees are capable of before hiring them. There are 6 courses in this program. The first course is an introduction to the social media landscape and will prepare you for your marketing journey. The second course is all about content development for social media and how businesses can build their presence and their brand and participate in a rich and meaningful way on social media platforms. The third course looks at the basics of advertising on social media. You learn how advertising on social media works and how you can use it to amplify your message and make it resonate deeply with your audience. In the fourth course, you'll learn how to build campaigns in Ads Manager, Meta's tool for advertising across Facebook and Instagram. In the 5th course, we look at how to measure the success of campaigns and further optimize them. And then finally, in the 6th course, you will complete a capstone project where you will build your portfolio representing the work you did throughout this course and telling your unique social media marketing campaign story. We'll offer the support you need to get you on your way, but your success in this program depends on you. Take your time going through all the videos, the practice quizzes, graded quizzes and projects. Participate in the discussions with your fellow students and keep in touch with us through discussion boards. And now we come to the most exciting part of any journey, the part where the real story begins. Good luck with the course. I'm so excited to see how you'll do with the project. Let the journey begin.
Welcome to our course on advertising with Meta. This is course number 4 in the Social Media Marketing Professional Certification Program created with Meta. In this course, we focus on advertising with Meta Ads Manager. Ads Manager is your starting point for running ads on Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and the Audience Network. Ads Manager is an all-in-one tool for creating ads, managing when and where the ads will run, and tracking how well your campaigns are performing. It is designed to give advertisers full control of the types of ads they run and the audiences they reach. Additionally, it allows for granular settings for scheduling and budgeting. Ads Manager is a powerful ad management tool with many features to tailor and optimize your campaigns to help you reach your business goals. In this course, I'll take you through Ads Manager step by step to prepare you to run your own campaigns. And by the end of this course, not only will you be able to create and manage your own campaigns in Ads Manager, you'll also be ready to earn the Digital Marketing Associate certification by taking the Meta certification exam. And this is one of the 2 certificates you can earn in this program, and it will help you demonstrate your proficiency in Ads Manager with future employers. In the first week, you'll take your first steps in Meta Ads Manager. You'll learn where your ads can appear and how you will pay for running them. We'll also go over how campaigns are structured in Ads Manager and give you a general overview of how to navigate the tool. In the second week, you'll focus on determining your campaign objective and your budget. First, we'll learn how to align your business goals with the campaign objectives offered in Ads Manager. And then we'll discuss how to calculate your campaign budget and how to set it in Ads Manager. And given that pricing for ads is determined through an auction, you'll also learn about different bidding strategies. In the third week, the focus is on audiences, placements, and campaign schedules. First, you will learn about the different audience targeting options in Ads Manager and how to use them. And then you'll learn how to choose the ad placements for your campaign and how to set up its schedule. In week 4, you'll learn how to create the actual ads for your campaign and how to evaluate your campaign results. First, we'll have a look at the different ad formats available and then create ads step by step. Next, we'll learn how to read the results of your campaign and monitor and analyze the most important metrics. And finally, in week 5, you will build your own campaign in Meta Ads Manager. I will first give you a full run-through from beginning to end, and then it's time for your project, where you will put what you've learned into practice. This will be a practical and hands-on course, and I can't wait to get started. It's a good idea to explore and practice what we cover in Ads Manager after each video or lesson. It's also much more fun that way. So let's begin. Hi, I'm Daniel Kopp, and I'm one of the instructors in the Social Media Marketing Professional Certification Program. I have a great passion for digital media, digital marketing, and digital businesses. I started my career in 2006, joining one of the leading advertising agencies in Europe just 2 years after Facebook was launched. And social media marketing was still in its infancy, and most businesses really try to figure out how to best approach it. Social and digital media completely turned the traditional media industry upside down. So after a few years in advertising, I joined a big magazine publisher to see firsthand how the media industry was adapting their products and businesses to the digital world. And since most social media and advertising technology companies were based in Silicon Valley, I then moved to California. I earned my MBA degree at Stanford, and I fell in love with the startup world and the incredible amount of energy and passion that people have to make a dent in the universe. I joined an online education startup and first taught digital marketing in a number of online courses, and later helped that company expand their business to Europe. Today, I work at a tech startup in Berlin, in Germany, and I'm responsible for driving both product growth and brand love. Together with my team, I lead all aspects of our marketing, from customer acquisition to brand strategy, social media marketing, product marketing, and content marketing. I love learning and teaching, and I'm super excited you're here to learn about social media marketing. I can't wait to show you how powerful and how fun social media advertising is and how you can master both the art and the science of it.
Working in social media is exciting and dynamic. Businesses are clamoring for experts in social media, and the number of jobs that require social media skills keeps growing. When you successfully finish this program, you'll receive 2 certifications, one from Coursera and one from Facebook, certifying your mastery of Ads Manager. These 2 certifications will be among the first things many employers look for, so you'll have a leg up in your job search. You'll also have the projects that you completed during your coursework, which will build up to a portfolio you can use to showcase your abilities to potential employers. So you're probably curious as to what kinds of roles you'll be suitable for by the end of this program. Well, nearly every organization now has a social media presence, and many of these have entry-level positions available, where fresh ideas and a willingness to jump into new projects are highly desirable traits. Jobs in social media marketing roughly fall into 2 categories. First, there are a number of jobs that focus on social media management. In these jobs, you play a role in crafting a company's voice and social media personality. Jobs as a social media coordinator and an engagement coordinator, for instance. As a social media coordinator, you'll post to social media accounts and follow instructions from the director of social media. You could be working with a well-known brand or company or even a celebrity. An engagement coordinator is like a social media coordinator, but as well as posting to social media accounts and messaging followers, they're also responsible for guiding the online behavior of followers. You encourage followers to interact with your posts, and you respond to comments and react to trends in the broader social media space. This program also prepares you for a second category of jobs in social media marketing, namely jobs that focus on creating and managing paid advertising on social media. These jobs exist both in advertising agencies and on the client side. Social media marketing associate is one of the types of roles you'll find at an advertising agency. Working for agencies is a fun and dynamic way to put all you've learned to work. You'd be involved in creating advertising campaigns for different social media platforms. Agencies have multiple clients, and so you get to work on a wide number of different campaigns with many different goals and for many different companies. It's a wonderfully exciting way to break into social media advertising. Working as a social media marketing associate on the client side means you're working for one specific client or company. This could be anything from big brands like Adidas or Pepsi to smaller brands that rely heavily on social media. Roles you'll find here are similar as the ones you find in agencies, but you'd focus your advertising efforts on one brand, and you'd often work together with your counterparts on the agency side. Working on the client side is a fantastic way to really sink your teeth into one brand and to really focus on how to use your social media skills on that single brand. Of course, you might find that smaller companies have one person focusing on social media marketing who has to wear many hats and basically performs parts of all these jobs. Or you may decide to start your own business, in which case social media marketing skills will come in handy as you grow your business. In addition to the jobs I outlined so far, there are a myriad of other jobs available to those who master the art of social media, including bloggers, brand ambassadors, community managers, social media coordinators or associates, managers, directors, and social media copywriters. While many companies are looking to hire social media marketers to join their team, you could also decide that you'd like to be a freelancer. social media marketing lends itself very well to part-time or freelance roles. Say you could work on writing content for social media marketing as a freelancer, supporting a larger company who may have an occasional need for some extra help. Or you could help out a small firm with the management of their Facebook page and Instagram account on a part-time basis. In other words, social media marketing offers great opportunities for flexible jobs for those who need or desire them. Finally, great social media marketers generally like dynamic environments where they can learn from others. They have a love of lifelong learning, are keen to work with others, yet also display a knack for rolling up their sleeves and getting the job done on their own. If this sounds like you, then you could be ideally suited to a job in social media marketing, and this program will prepare you to start your career. Before we dive in, I want to share a quick but important message. All of our interactions in this course take place right here on Coursera, where we've created a welcoming community for you to ask questions, share insights, and connect with other learners. Our community offers you the opportunity to connect with and get inspired by other learners worldwide who share similar interests, backgrounds, or career paths. Make the most of your course by getting your questions answered whenever you're stuck. Engage directly with Meta and Apply staff to gain insights and support along the way. And as a reminder, we don't use external messaging apps like WhatsApp for any part of this course. If anyone outside the Coursera platform claims to be me or another instructor and invites you to join an external group, it's likely a scam. While social media can have its challenges, our support team is here for you if you ever have concerns. You can always reach out to us at support@apply.zendesk.com. I'm genuinely excited to have you here, and I look forward to an amazing journey together.
Hi, welcome to a brand new week and a brand new module. You've come a long way towards your professional certificate, and we're excited to dive deeper into Meta Ads Manager. This week is all about taking your first steps in Ads Manager. In Lesson 1, you will first learn what tools Meta offers to create and manage your ad campaigns. And we'll then discuss where the ads you create can appear, also called ad placements. Finally, we'll explain how the ad auction works and how you will pay for running your campaigns. In the second lesson, we'll first go over how campaigns are structured in Ads Manager. And then we'll go and get your ad account set up and give you a general overview of how to navigate Ads Manager. There's a lot to cover here, so let's get started. Before we go into building actual ad campaigns, let's first explore what tools you will use to build those ads. Meta has two major tools you can use to create your ad campaigns. The first tool allows you to create ads from your Facebook page using the Create Ad button. And the second tool for ad creation is Meta Ads Manager. Ads Manager is available as a mobile app and is a web-based application that can be accessed from your computer using a web browser. We'll do a brief walkthrough of ad creation from both tools, beginning with your Facebook page. Advertising from your Facebook page is the simplest and fastest way to create a Facebook ad. And it has the added benefit of having text and images pre-populated for you. And this makes it a great way to learn the basics of Facebook advertising. To begin creating an ad from your Facebook page, click the Create Ad button on your Facebook page. And then choose an ad type that aligns best with your objectives. The available ad types include getting started with automated ads, creating new ads, boosting a post, or boosting an Instagram post. Once you've selected the ad type that is right for you, you'll be asked to provide your goal. In other words, the results you would like to get from this ad. And then you'll set up your ad creative. This includes the copy of your ad, that's here called description, the images or videos you want to use, a headline, a call to action button, and the URL of your website. Then specify your target audience and set the duration and budget for your promotion. You can also specify where you want your ads to appear in the placement section. Finally, hit Promote Now, and you've created an ad from your Facebook page. The second Facebook advertising tool is Meta Ads Manager. We won't focus on the Ads Manager mobile app as much as the desktop version in this course, but we'll outline some of its key features for you. The Meta Ads Manager mobile app lets you create and manage ads for Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and Audience Network. And you'll be able to create ad campaigns on your mobile device, manage campaigns you've created from your Facebook page or the web version of Ads Manager, track the performance of your campaigns, and manage campaigns from multiple pages on a single screen. The Meta Ads Manager mobile app is particularly good for when you need to edit campaigns and ads on the go, and it's available on both Android and iOS. Now let's look at the web version of Ads Manager that you can access through your computer. Creating an ad campaign with Meta Ads Manager is similar to creating one from a Facebook page, but Ads Manager has much more powerful targeting tools and features, so the process involves more steps. Here are a few of the benefits of Meta Ads Manager. Managing your ad campaign parameters such as advertising objective, budget, and targeting audience. You can also see how ads will look on different devices. Increasing who can see your ads by running them on multiple placements. Your ads can then appear on platforms like Instagram, Audience Network, and Messenger in addition to Facebook. Using A/B testing with Ads Manager to determine how to maximize your ads performance. A/B testing will help you find, for example, the ideal targeting audience and placements for your ads. And being able to use all of Facebook's advanced tools, including creating and using the Meta Pixel, building advanced audience targeting, and others. We'll teach you more about these in the coming lessons. To access the web version of Meta Ads Manager, go to business.facebook.com/Ads Manager or click the Ads Manager tab in the left-hand sidebar on your newsfeed. Let's have a first look at the process of setting up a campaign on Ads Manager. We'll dive into the specifics of each step in later videos. This is what your campaign overview screen on Ads Manager will look like. To create an ad campaign, click the plus create button in the homepage's upper left. Then, select one of the campaign objectives displayed. Your campaign objective is the business goal you hope to achieve by running your ads. And depending on the objective you choose, you may be asked to specify where you want to drive your traffic: your website, app, Messenger, or WhatsApp. After that, Ads Manager will prompt you to set your ad schedule and budget for your ad. And next, you will select your audience. You can define your audience by location, age, gender, interests, languages, and more. And then Ads Manager will ask you how and where you want your ads to appear to people, also known as placements. You can place your ads across any and all of the available placements, including on Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and Audience Network. And we'll talk more about placements in a future lesson. And then, similar to the advertising tool on your Facebook page, you choose how you want the ad to look. You can use one of 5 creative formats: single image, single video, slideshow, carousel, or collection, which combines image and video. Finally, you place your order and pay. Meta then checks the ad against its advertising policies, and if it meets those criteria, it runs. Congrats! You've created an ad with Meta Ads Manager. In this video, we covered creating ads with Facebook pages and how to use Meta Ads Manager on both the web version and through the mobile app. Next up, we'll talk about where to best place your ads using Ad Manager tools. As we discussed in the last lesson, defining your ad placement is choosing where your ads will appear to your audience and how they will look. Your ad placement determines whether your ads appear on Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, or Audience Network, as well as how they look on each platform. For example, you could choose to have your ads appear on Facebook and Instagram feeds and stories, but not on Messenger or WhatsApp. And a lot of options to choose from. We're going to break down how it works in this video. If you choose Ad Manager's Advantage Plus placement option, Meta will allocate your budget across multiple placements based on where they are likely to perform best. And we recommend using Advantage Plus most of the time so Meta can make the most of your ad budget and you can get the best results possible. When using Advantage Plus placements, Meta also provides simplified audience targeting options as well as creative customization options if you want to show different creatives on different platforms with no limit to the number of creatives you can upload. If you decide you need full control over your placements, that option is available to you by selecting Manual Placements. We'll go over the current placements now. Meta's major ad placement types are feeds, stories, in-stream videos, search, messages, in-ad articles, and apps and sites. Let's break them down one by one, and we'll start with feeds. When your ads are placed in feed, that means that they appear to people scrolling through their inbox, desktop, or mobile feeds on Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger. And there are 8 different feed placements. The first feed placement is Facebook feed, which is probably the type you're most familiar with. This is when an ad appears in between posts from your friends and pages you follow. The second feed placement is Instagram feed, which is when your ads appear in between the posts of people and businesses you follow on Instagram. The third feed placement is on Facebook Marketplace. And this is when your ads are placed in the Marketplace homepage or when someone browses Marketplace in the Facebook app. Your ad will appear with other relevant products and services on Marketplace. The fourth feed placement is via Facebook Video. Your video ads appear between videos in Facebook Watch and in Facebook Newsfeed. Feed placement number 5 is on Facebook's right column. And here your ads will appear in the right column on Facebook, and right column ads only appear to people browsing Facebook on their computers. Feed placement number 6 is on Instagram Explore. Your ads will appear to people when they click on content they found in the browsing experience, called Explore. The 7th feed placement is in the Messenger inbox. Your ads appear in the home tab of Messenger between conversations. And the final feed placement is on the Instagram Shop tab. Here, your ads appear as tiles on the Instagram Shop tab page. Those are all the feed ad placements. Next, we'll talk about story ad placements. Meta Ads Manager lets you post stories ads on Facebook Stories, Messenger Stories, Instagram Reels, and Facebook Reels. And they're typically full-screen vertical images or videos and are 5 to 15 seconds long. Story ads will show your ad between stories of people or brands you are friends with or you follow. And stories ads are great for grabbing your audience's attention for a few seconds. And they're particularly good at letting your audience know a product or service exists. Next up, we have in-stream video ads. Here, your ads will appear in video on demand and in a select group of approved partner live streams on Facebook. Your ads can appear before, during, or after video content. And in-stream ads are currently only available on Facebook. Next, we have the search placement. And this means that your ads can appear on Facebook and Facebook Marketplace if someone searches something related to your product. For example, someone looking for flower pots in Amsterdam on Facebook Marketplace could be shown a Calland Ivy ad. And after that, we have Messenger sponsored messages. If you choose this placement, your ads will appear as messages to people who've had an existing conversation with you in Messenger. Second to last, with the Facebook's Instant Articles in-ad placement. And this means that your ads will appear in some articles on the Facebook mobile app. Finally, our last app placements are apps and sites, which displays your ads in external apps and sites through the Meta Audience Network. The Audience Network extends Meta's people-based advertising beyond the Meta platform. When you choose to use the apps and sites placement, Meta will show you ads on a multitude of external apps that they partner with. These apps have chosen to display Meta advertising as part of their in-app experience. And there are 5 types of Audience Network app placements: native, banner, interstitial, rewarded video, and in-stream videos. We'll go over each very briefly. For Audience Network's native, banner, and interstitial ads, Meta takes your ad creative and then transforms it to better blend in with the partner app environments. The native ads are custom ad units designed to fit into the app experience. You can see in this example how the Calland Ivy ad blends into the atmosphere of the website. Banner ads are small bar ads that show at the top of your screen in the app you're in. The interstitial ad is a full-screen ad designed to appear at natural transition points within the app. The rewarded video ads are most often placed in mobile games. Players can choose to watch a video to receive a reward, such as virtual currency or in-app items, hence the name rewarded videos. And lastly, the in-stream video ads, which are placed a little differently than Facebook in-stream video ads. These ads can run before, during, or after video content. And that's all of Meta's major ad placements. It was a lot of ground to cover, so thanks for bearing with us. Just to recap, we recommend choosing the Advantage Plus placement setting in Ads Manager to allow Meta's delivery system to do the placement selection for you. But now you know all the available placements if you need to do it manually. You can also adjust your ads to make sure that they best fit their placements. Buying ads on Meta isn't like buying ads on TV. You don't just pay to buy commercial space. The Meta ad system is built off what is called an auction system. And in order to understand how Meta charges for ads, it's important to understand how their auction system works first. The Meta ad auction is how Meta decides how much to charge for an ad. And the ad auction is designed to achieve two goals: creating value for advertisers by helping them reach and get results from people in their target audience, while also providing positive, relevant experience for people who use the Meta products. And to achieve this balance, they hold an auction to match the right ad to the right person at the right time. So each time there's an opportunity to show an ad to someone, an auction takes place to determine which ad to show to that person. And billions of auctions take place every day across the Meta family of apps. So who competes in these auctions? Well, when an advertiser like you creates an ad, you define your target audience on Meta. But what happens when another advertiser wants to target the same audience as you? Well, then both you and the other advertiser compete in the auction to show that person your ad. For example, say one advertiser targets all women who like flowers. Another advertiser targets all flower lovers who live in California. In that case, the same woman in California who likes flowers could fall into both of these advertisers' audiences. Let's call this woman Clara. So how does Meta decide whose ad Clara sees? Meta decides which ad Clara sees by calculating a total value for each ad, which is effectively a numerical score. The ad with a higher total value wins the auction and gets shown to Clara. So what does this calculation look like? An ad's total value is based on three things: the advertiser bid, the estimated action rate, and the ad quality. We'll explain each of them briefly. The advertiser bid is how much an advertiser is willing to pay to achieve their desired outcome, like a website visit or a newsletter sign up. And you can manually set that bid, or you can let Meta automatically determine what your bid should be. The more money you bid, the higher your advertiser bid will be. It's good to remember, though, that the winner of each auction is not simply the advertiser that pays the most. It's a combination of all the factors in the equation. We'll talk more about setting bids in another lesson. The next part of the total value equation is the estimated action rate. The estimated action rate measures the likelihood that a certain ad shown to a certain person will lead to a desired outcome. It's basically an estimation of how likely the user is to fulfill your ad campaign objective, whether that's pressing a Shop Now button or going to your website. The final part of the total value equation is ad quality. Ad quality is determined by many sources, including feedback from people that view or hide your ad, as well as findings of low-quality attributes such as sensationalized language, engagement bait, and more. Together, the advertiser bid, the estimated action rate, and the ad quality make up an ad's total value. So what does it mean for Clara, who's being targeted by two flower companies? Well, let's assume both companies ran an ad with the goal of getting people to purchase flowers from their online website. They input the same advertiser bid, and Meta determines Clara is equally likely to fulfill the desired goal to buy products from them. This means the estimated action rate is the same for both ads too. Advertiser A, however, is sending people to a website that has a lot of ads on their homepage as well as misleading information about flower pricing. That's not a great user experience. So hypothetically, this could lower advertiser A's ad quality score, driving their total value down. And it means advertiser B would have a higher total value score, leading to them winning the auction and Clara seeing their ad. So now that you understand the auction, how does it relate to how much you're charged for an ad? Well, billions of auctions take place every day across the Meta family of apps, and often with far more than two companies. Every time you see an ad, it's the result of an auction. And Meta only charges you for those ads when you win the auction. Meta charges you by the number of times your ad is displayed to people, also known as an impression. Meta charges on a 1,000 impression basis, also known as CPM, cost per thousand. CPM measures the total amount spent on an ad campaign divided by impressions multiplied by 1,000. Here's an example. If you spend $50 on your ad and got 10,000 impressions, your CPM would be $5. You might be wondering why CPM is important. CPM is a common metric used by the online advertising industry to gauge the cost effectiveness of an ad campaign. It's often used to compare performance among different ad campaigns and publishers. So while you get charged $50, you can gauge what you are charged for by the CPM price. For some marketing goals, you can also choose to be charged per link click or per action. This means Meta will only charge you if customers click on your ad link or take another specific action, such as watching a video. And we'll show you later where you can make the choice to be charged per link click or action rather than impression. Now that you know how the auction works and how Meta charges for ads, you're ready to set your budget in Ads Manager. Your Meta ad budget is the total amount you want to spend daily or over the course of the campaign. And Meta will try to spend your budget evenly throughout the time your ad is running. You won't be charged more than the budget you set. So if you set a maximum budget of $100 to run an ad over a month, but Facebook only spends $70 that month based on the ad's performance, your bill will be $70. Remember, when you are setting your budget for Meta ads, it's the maximum amount you're willing to spend, not the actual amount spent. Finally, let's briefly cover how you will actually pay for your ads. In general, there are two ways you may be charged for ads. Many advertisers have what's called automatic payments. With automatic payments, Meta will automatically charge you whenever you spend a certain amount, which is known as a billing threshold. You'll be charged each time you hit your billing threshold and again on your monthly bill date for any leftover charges. You can also pay via manual payments. With manual payments, you preload money to your account before your ads run. And after that, Meta will typically deduct from that amount up to once a day as your ads run. For smaller budgets, Meta may wait until the charges grow to a certain amount or until 7 days pass before they invoice your account. We're going to walk you through how to use Ads Manager soon. But first, let's talk about how campaigns are structured. There are three parts to a Meta ad campaign: the campaign, an ad set, and the individual ads. Collectively, this is called the campaign structure. Knowing how these parts work together can help you best optimize your advertising experience and your results. We'll briefly break down each part using one of our example companies, Calla and Ivy. We'll start by explaining the campaign. The first thing you do when you go to create an ad in Ads Manager is choose a campaign objective. And think of the campaign as the foundation of your ad. The objective you choose will define what options you will have in the rest of the campaign setup. The objective you pick should reflect what you want to accomplish with your ads, such as promoting your app or building awareness of your business. We'll go over all the different campaign objectives available in detail and when to choose which in the next lesson. Let's say Calla and Ivy want to drive traffic to the website. Let's set traffic as the campaign objective and then move on to the next level of the structure, the ad sets. Ad sets are the second level of a campaign. And think of the ad set as the level that tells your ad how to run. At the ad set level, you'll define who will see your ad you're targeting, where the ad will show up, your placement, how much you want to spend, your budget, and how long it should run for, your schedule. It's important to know that a campaign can include multiple ad sets, each with different targeting, scheduling, and budgeting options selected. This allows you to easily segment your ads to try different things to see what works. You could target one ad set to young people and one ad set to older ones. You could set one ad set to run on Facebook and one to run on Instagram. You can effectively use them to target any one of Facebook's audience categories. For example, Calla and Ivy might want to advertise wedding flower packages to newly engaged couples in the Netherlands in March. And they're interested in finding out whether younger or older couples respond better to their ads. So they could create one ad set to target people who are newly engaged, who live in the Netherlands and are between the ages of 20 and 35, and a second ad set to target those between 36 and 49. The third and final level of the campaign structure is the ad level. The ad level defines what your audience will actually see, for which you first choose the ad format, and then you'll add videos or photos, write copy, and define your destination. Keep in mind that you can have multiple ads within a single ad set. Kala and Ivy could, for example, test a photo ad and a video ad in each ad set to learn which performs better. So, to summarize, a campaign is built off a single objective and consists of one or multiple ad sets that each contain one or multiple ads. It's a simple structure that helps you organize and optimize your campaign. The structure also enables you to test many different parameters, such as your audience, ad creative, etc. This then allows you to shift more budget towards the highly performing ad sets or ads, or consider new strategies altogether. In this video, we'll set up your Meta Ads Manager account. We'll show you how to change your time zone, currency, payment methods, and spending limit. If you do have a Facebook profile or an Instagram account, you automatically also have an Ads Manager account. So there's nothing you need to set up. You can create your campaigns in Ads Manager without having a Facebook page or an Instagram account for business, but in order to run the ads, you need to create one first. So to access Meta Ads Manager, go to facebook.com/Ads Manager or click the Ads Manager tab in the left-hand sidebar on your Facebook homepage. Once you're in Ads Manager, select the Settings gear at the bottom corner of the left sidebar. Once you're in Ads Manager Settings, you'll be presented with your ad account setup page. In the upper right corner, you'll see that you have been assigned a random account ID number. On the left-hand sidebar, select Payment Settings by clicking on the image of a credit card. On the Payment Settings page, you will see your business info, payment methods, and account spending limit. Let's start with your business info. It's here that you will be able to review and edit your business name, address, time zone, currency, and more. If you need to make changes to your business info, select the option to edit your business info. You'll be able to change your billing country or region, as well as your currency, time zone, business name and address, and advertising purpose. To get to advertising purpose, you may need to scroll down a bit. And after selecting your advertising purpose, select Save to update your business info. And these questions are for legal reasons, as there may be restrictions on certain types of advertising in your region. Next, we'll set up a payment method. You have to set up a payment method before you can begin running ads. As there's currently no payment method, let's add one. From the Payment Settings page under Payment Methods, select Add Payment Method. You can choose to pay with a debit or credit card, PayPal, online banking, or select that you have an ad credit to claim. If you want, you can add more than one payment method. Choose a payment method and select Next. Once you've entered your payment information, select Save. And depending on the payment method you choose, you may be asked for more information. Once you've added your payment method, you will return to the Payment Settings page. You can always edit or remove a payment method on the Payment Settings page under Settings in Ads Manager. It's also important to note that on the Payment Settings page, you can also set your account spending limit. This helps you control your total ad costs, as your ads will be paused when the limit is reached. Your ads will stay paused until you change this limit. To set an account spending limit, click on the three dots in the upper right on the Account Spending Limit section and select Set Limit. Here you have the option to set or change, remove or reset your account spending limit. Once you're finished, click Save. You now have your payment method and account spending limit set. Remember, you can change any of your Ads Manager settings at any time by selecting Settings from the menu in Ads Manager. Before we create a campaign, let's have a look at Ads Manager's most important features so you know your way around. When you access Meta Ads Manager, you typically land on the Campaign Overview screen, which you can see here. Before we have a look at the main portion of the screen, have a look at the left-hand side. This is your main menu to navigate Ads Manager, search and access settings, and the Help Center. The top button in Ads Manager, which looks like a house, will bring you back to your campaign overview screen. Below that, the horizontal lines give you access to a number of useful business tools that are grouped into 6 categories: Manage Business, Protect Rights, Advertise, Analyze and Report, Engage Customers, and Sell Products and Services. You can also expand the tool overview to get a short description of each tool. We'll briefly go over each category so you have an idea of which tools are available. The first section is Manage Business. Here you find all the tools to configure who can access your business account on Meta platforms. It also controls how you're charged and invoiced. Using the Manage Business section, you can also manage the images and videos for your ads, input and edit the locations of your physical stores, and manage event data from your pixel if you do have one. If Meta ever rejects your ads for violating their ad policies, you can also find more information as to why here. Below Manage Business, there's the Protect Rights section, which has the option for brand rights protection. The brand rights protection tool enables a business to protect its brand and customers across Meta technologies. If you wish to use brand rights protection, there's a process to follow, and you will need to meet specific requirements to apply. Next, we have the Advertise section. It's pretty much what it sounds like. Here's where you can find the tools to create and manage your ad campaigns. The Advertise section also lets you prepare mock-up ad campaigns in the Creative Hub without actually running them. And this tool lets you make example ads to show your team or to use in sales pitches. Next, we have the Analyze and Report section. This lets you access audience insights, get deeper analytics about how people interact with your business, and create ad experiments to measure the effectiveness of different campaigns. After that, we have the Engage Customers section. This is a shortcut to create, schedule, and manage your organic and paid posts. And finally, we have the Sell Product and Services section. Here we can access Commerce Manager. This is where you can create a shop or a catalog of your products. You can build your own online shop on Meta from here, or choose to feature your product catalog in ads, or sell the products directly on Facebook or Instagram. This was an overview of the business tools you can access from Meta Ads Manager. If you ever lost in Ads Manager and you can't find something, the button with the 3 horizontal lines is your best bet. Below that button, you see the profile picture of the account you're currently in. If you do have multiple accounts, you can access your other accounts by clicking on this button. The next menu item brings us to the Account Overview. The Account Overview section shows you campaign trends and spend for the previous 7 days. Now let's go back to the Campaign Overview screen that we saw at the beginning of this video. Here we have the 3 campaign structure components that we talked about last lesson. These are campaigns, ad sets, and ads. And no matter what level of the campaign you look at, campaign, ad set, or ad, Ads Manager will show you a number of important columns. These include your campaign or ad set budgets and the amount spent, your campaign performance via results, reach, and impressions, as well as the cost per result, and the delivery column. Let's briefly talk about the delivery column. The delivery column displays the status of your campaigns, ad sets, or individual ads. Here you can see whether your campaign, ad set, or ad is active or inactive, which means whether it's running or not. You can also see whether your work is still in draft or in review by Facebook. You can customize the results you see by using the Search and Filter feature in Ads Manager. And this lets you search and filter for campaigns, ad sets, or ads based on keywords or many filters. You can filter results by time frame with the time frame button directly to the search bar's right. For now, don't worry about all the numbers you see. We'll go into more detail on the important stuff later. For now, just remember that you can hover over most of the columns to receive more information. The last thing to point out for now is the Create button. Clicking this button brings you straight to the starting point for creating a campaign. We'll focus on that next. Well done, another week in the books. It's been quite a ride, and you should be proud of your work that you've completed thus far. Let's briefly go over what we've covered in this module. In Lesson 1, you first learned what the different tools are that Meta offers to create and manage your ad campaigns, Facebook pages, and the mobile and web version of Ads Manager. We then gave you an overview of all the different placements available for your ads in Ads Manager. You've also learned that choosing the Advantage Plus placements will help you make the most of your budget and show your ads to more people. And finally, you learned how the ad auction works and how you'll pay for running your campaigns. In the second lesson, we first went over the three-part structure used in Ads Manager, consisting of campaigns, ad sets, and ads. We then went into the settings section in Ads Manager to set up your ad account. We ended this lesson with giving you a general overview of how to navigate Ads Manager. In next week's module, we'll focus on the campaign level in Ads Manager, and you'll learn how to determine your campaign objective and your budget. So, see you then. Welcome back, I'm glad you're here. This week, we'll focus on the campaign level in Ads Manager, and we'll learn how to determine your campaign objectives and your budget. So, let's have a quick look at what we're going to cover in this module. In Lesson 1, you'll first learn how to align your business goals with the campaign objectives that are offered in Ads Manager. Campaign objectives play a key role in setting up your ad campaign in Ads Manager, as they determine how Meta will optimize the delivery of your ad. And that's why we'll also go through a number of examples of how to choose the campaign objective that is right for achieving your business goals. And then in Lesson 2, we'll discuss how to calculate your campaign budget and how to set it in Ads Manager. And given that pricing for ads is determined through an ad auction, you'll also learn about different strategies that you can use to set your bids. We'll end Lesson 2 with a first overview of A/B tests that you can run in Ads Manager. With A/B tests, you can get a better idea of how different elements of your campaign impact your campaign results. Okay, let's get started by looking at the campaign objectives next. Welcome to campaign creation in Meta Ads Manager. In this video, we're going to learn how to set a campaign objective in Ads Manager that is aligned with your marketing goal. To get started, I've opened Ads Manager and I'm on the campaign overview screen. To create a new campaign, click the green Create button. You should see a screen similar to mine asking you to choose a campaign objective. Before we choose our campaign objective, let's familiarize ourselves with how things are structured. If you look on the left, you can see that Ads Manager divides the guided campaign creation process into 3 steps. The campaign creation process follows the campaign structure that we've discussed earlier. At the top, we have the campaign level, where we set our overarching objective. Below that, we have the ad set level, where we target audiences, choose our ad placements, and set our ad set budget and schedule if we wish. And finally, we have the ad level, where we create the actual ads by choosing the ad format, creative, copy, and destination. We'll go into more depth on these areas later. For now, let's focus on the first step in creating a campaign in Ads Manager, choosing our campaign objective. Our objective defines what we want people to do when they see our ads. And until recently in Ads Manager, campaign objectives were divided into 3 general categories. And this structure should look familiar to you as it follows the 3 main stages of the customer journey: awareness, consideration, and conversion. So it's helpful to first narrow down at which stage in the journey your audience is in, and then choose the objective that is best aligned with your business goals. Ads Manager recently changed the list of campaign objectives from 11 options to 6. The structure remains the same, but Ads Manager no longer displays the objectives separated into categories matching the 3 stages of the customer journey: awareness, consideration, and conversion. You can see now how the 6 objectives fit into the categories, with awareness, and then traffic, engagement, and leads as consideration objectives, and app promotion and sales as conversion objectives. Next, let's define these 3 categories. Have customers never heard of your brand and you want to create initial awareness? Well, if so, you should choose the awareness objective. Do you want people to engage with your brand and content by visiting a website, reach people more likely to engage with your Facebook page, or collect leads for your business? Then choose traffic, engagement, or leads. And do you want to encourage people to install your app or purchase your product or services? Then consider the app promotion or the sales objective. It's also helpful here to have another look at the SMART goal and the audience template you've completed in Course 1. Articulating your target audience and where they are in the customer journey ahead of time is helpful to structure your campaign. So once you're clear about your marketing goals, you're ready to choose your Meta campaign objective. We'll briefly go over all the different objectives that Ads Manager lets you choose from, and then have a look at some campaign examples in the next video. First, there's the awareness objective. Awareness is designed to spread the word about your brand, product, or service. And you would choose this objective to target people who aren't customers just yet, but who could become one when they discover you. And awareness is good for building reach, creating brand awareness, getting video views, and building awareness for your store location. Next, let's have a look at the consideration objectives. And as I said earlier, this category includes objectives that get people to consider, seek information about, and engage with your product or service. One of the most popular objectives is the traffic objective. And this lets you drive people from Facebook or Instagram to any URL that you choose, like your website's landing page or a blog post. And traffic is good for link clicks and landing page views. Next, we have the engagement objective. And you select this when you want to reach people who are more likely to engage with your post, page, or event. Engagement includes liking your page, commenting on or sharing your post, or responding to an offer or event that you've created. Engagement is good for getting people to message your business, generating video views, and post engagements like page likes and event responses. The leads objective is a good choice when you want to collect contact information from people that are interested in your product, like emails or signups for newsletters. To do that, you will create a form right in Ads Manager that opens when someone clicks on your ad. The leads objective is good for driving form completions, messages, calls, and signups. Let's move to the final set of objectives centered around conversion. Conversion, as you might remember, includes objectives that encourage people to install your app or purchase or use your product or service. The app promotion objective is the right choice if you want to send people to the respective app store where they can download your business's app. App promotion is the objective that's good for driving app installs and in-app events. And finally, the sales objective that you can choose when you want to find people likely to purchase your product or your service. Sales is good for driving conversions, messages, and sales of products in your catalog. This was an overview of the different campaign objectives you can choose from in Ads Manager. We'll look at a few campaign examples to illustrate some of these objectives in the next video. Now that we have a good overview of campaign objectives in Ads Manager, we'll walk you through a few example campaign objectives for Calla and Ivy. By the end of this video, you should have a better sense of how the right objective can help you achieve your business goals. Let's imagine Calla and Ivy's planning to open a showroom in Amsterdam. They want to give people in the area an opportunity to check out their beautiful flower arrangements in real life. Using the awareness objective, they can create a campaign that introduces the brand and their showroom to as many people in Amsterdam as possible, so they become aware of the new showroom. Now let's say Calla and Ivy want more people to visit their website to learn about their flower subscription service. If they choose the traffic objective, their ad will show to people who are likely to click through to their site. In other words, Ads Manager would optimize for clicks from people most likely to be interested in visiting their site. The click would lead users to a Calla and Ivy landing page informing them about flower subscriptions. But if Calla and Ivy's goals was to actually sell subscriptions to people interested in them, the sales objective would show their ad to people who are most likely to complete a purchase. Because this objective needs customer information on who makes purchases to find the best people to show your ad to, you need the pixel implemented for this objective to work. We'll discuss this later. In our final example, Calla and Ivy want potential customers to subscribe to their weekly newsletter. With the leads objective, they can create a form for people to enter the name, email address, and other information. And Ads Manager will show this ad to people who are most likely to complete the form. The form can even include personalized questions like, what flowers do you like the most? I hope you now have a better idea of how to choose the campaign objective that is right for your marketing goals. Now that we've learned how to choose a campaign objective that is aligned with our business goals, let's talk about budgets. By the end of this video, you will know how to determine the right budget for your ad campaign. Your campaign budget is the total amount you plan to spend over the course of your ad campaign. Sometimes you might run an ad campaign for a long period of time, and then it's usually easier to express your campaign budget as the amount you plan to spend per day or per month the campaign is live. And in some cases, your campaign budget might already be decided by another party. For example, if you work on a marketing team in a company that allocates a certain monthly amount to social media ad campaigns, that will determine your overall campaign budget. If you run different campaigns in a given month, you would break down that budget into a budget per individual campaign. Or if you work for an agency, your client might budget a certain amount of money for the campaign you're managing. In that case, it's your job to get as many results as possible while not going over budget. These results might be app downloads, item purchases, or newsletter signups. Your client might also provide you with a limit on how much each result can cost. In other cases, you might determine the campaign budget yourself, or you might be asked to recommend a campaign budget to a client. So, how much should you spend? Your campaign budget will ultimately depend on what results you're aiming to achieve, and your realistic estimate on how well your ads will drive sales or conversions. We'll talk about how to determine each of those things in this video. Let's use an example company to walk through how we determine a campaign budget. We'll start with an online bike parts retailer who's aiming to achieve a result of $50,000 in revenue per month. So let's say you run this company. You know that for every 100 people that land on your website, one person becomes a buyer and buys two $100 bike tires. This means every buyer generates $200 in revenue. And you want to make $50,000 in revenue per month, and that means you'll need 250 buyers. To now determine the number of website visitors you will need, multiply the 250 buyers with the number of visitors needed to get a buyer. 250 buyers times 100 is 25,000. So your ads will need to get your 25,000 website visitors per month to achieve your revenue goal. So how much money can you spend on advertising to get those 25,000 website visitors? To calculate that, we need to compare our revenue and our actual profits. Let's say that the set of two bike tires that you are selling cost $80 to make and $20 to sell. This means that although your revenue is $200, your profit is $100 because you're only making $100 per sale in profit. And this means that you don't want to spend more than $100 on advertising per sale, or you'll spend more than the profit you make per sale and then lose money. So if you make $50,000 in revenue, you're going to make $25,000 in profit. This means you shouldn't spend more than $25,000 on advertising. Every dollar you spend less than those $25,000 is now your actual profit after reflecting your advertising costs. So it's good to remember to never spend more on advertising than the profit you make. Here's another general guideline that is good to know: the rule of thirds. Many businesses use this rule of thumb to decide on how much to spend on ads to keep their business growing. This rule says to spend no more than 1/3 of your expected revenue on advertising. So with that in mind, if you want to see $50,000 in revenue, you shouldn't spend more than 1/3 of that, or roughly $16,600 on advertising. Now we need to calculate how much we can pay per website visitor. You're going to need 25,000 website visitors to make $50,000 in revenue. You also know that you don't want to spend more than about $16,600 in advertising. You may not plan on spending all your advertising dollars on one platform though. But is spending $16,600 enough to get us 25,000 website visitors? Well, to figure that out, we need to test our ad campaign. So, how do you test your ad campaign? Before you put in your full budget on day one, we recommend starting with a smaller test budget and then monitoring your campaign very closely. Get an idea of how much an impression or your click costs you and how well they convert into results. And with that data in hand, you can then calculate how much you can spend to reach your objectives. In the next video, we'll have a close look at how to set your campaign budget in Meta Ads Manager. Now that we know how to determine our campaign budget, let's talk about how to set that budget in Ads Manager. First, it's important to remember that the budget that you set in Ads Manager is not necessarily the amount you will spend. For example, you don't buy an ad campaign for $100. You instead indicate to Meta how much you want to spend on an ad campaign over a given period of time. So if you set a maximum budget of $100 to be spent over a month, but Meta only spends $70 advertising that month based on the campaign's performance, your bill will be $70. When you first set up a campaign in Ads Manager, you have the option to either set an advantage campaign budget or set individual ad set budgets. Setting a budget at the campaign level allows Meta to automatically assign budget to ad sets based on their performance and therefore maximizing your spending efficiency. This tool is known as Advantage Campaign Budget. Setting a budget at the ad set level lets you control how much money is spent on each individual ad set. And in general, we recommend setting your budget at the campaign level. And that's because if you set your budget at the ad set level, you'll end up paying more per desired outcome because you won't benefit from Meta's Advantage Campaign Budget option. As we mentioned before, Advantage Campaign Budget directs your advertising dollars to the ad sets that are providing the best outcome at any given moment in time. This means that if you have 2 active ad sets in one campaign, Meta might spend 90% of your budget on the first ad set if that ad set is giving you the most efficient outcomes based on your objective for the most part. Advantage Campaign Budget uses machine learning to optimize your campaign budget. It's almost impossible for us humans to replicate that degree of precision in calculation. So, while you may feel tempted to optimize your campaign budget yourself, we recommend enabling Advantage Campaign Budget and letting the machine do the work for you if you choose to use multiple ad sets. Once you click the Advantage Campaign Budget toggle, it will prompt you to enter a budget for your campaign. Meta offers 2 types of budgets to control how much you spend on a campaign or an ad set: daily budgets and lifetime budgets. We'll briefly go over each. When you set your daily budget, you're setting an average amount you're willing to spend on a campaign every day. The actual amount spent can vary slightly day to day. Meta may spend up to 25% more than what you set as a daily budget if they do see potential for better results on a certain day. But if they spend more on a day with lots of opportunities for good campaign results, they'll spend less on a day with fewer, which means your daily budget will always average out to your set amount. When you set a lifetime budget, you're telling Meta how much you're willing to spend over the entire runtime of your campaign. You'll never be charged more than your lifetime budget. In most cases, Meta will aim to spend your budget evenly over your campaign's lifetime. Let's say we set a lifetime budget of $700. We'll then provide Meta with a schedule on the ad set level. Once we set up our ad set schedules, Meta will know our full campaign runtime. They'll make sure to spread out the budget more or less evenly during that time. There are a few more options we can use to optimize our campaign strategy. We'll cover them in the next video. We learned earlier that Meta uses a competitive auction based on advertiser bid, an estimated action rate, and the ad quality to determine the best ad to show to a person at any given point in time. Let's now take a closer look at the advertiser bid part of the equation. This is the amount an advertiser is willing to pay for someone in their target audience to achieve a specific result, like a customer visiting the website, downloading their app, or signing up for their newsletter. Your advertiser bid is determined by how much you're willing to spend in your campaign budget. Let's talk about how to optimize your bid. Your campaign's long-term success relies on not spending more in advertising than you make in profits, which we learned in a previous video. So it's important to never bid more than the action you're trying to get a customer to take is worth to you. And that's why it's a good idea to only bid up to the true value of an action. Let's think about the flower business Kala and Ivy again. Imagine that Imra, the owner, plans a campaign to generate sales for new flower craft kits she's just added to the website. Imra knows that she makes $20 in profits on every flower kit sale. She also knows that people who buy a flower kit often become repeat customers to her. And on basis of this information, Imra decided that every flower kit purchase is worth a bit over $20 to her, accounting for those potential future sales. She decides she can bid $15 in the auction for a conversion-focused campaign. And that's just under $20 and leaves a bit of potential profit for her. In addition to determining what your bid should be, you also have to let Meta know how you want them to bid for you in an ad auction. To do that, you have to choose a bid strategy. Sounds complicated? Well, don't worry, Meta has a tool to help. When setting your campaign budget and selecting Advantage Campaign Budget, you can choose one from multiple campaign bid strategies. If you're just starting out and want to get a sense of how much it will cost you to get a specific result, like an app download, we recommend you go with a default bid strategy called Highest Volume. The Highest Volume bid strategy tells Meta to bid with the goal of getting you the maximum delivery and conversion from your budget. It means you don't have to set a bid, as Meta will use its machine learning tools to spend your whole budget as efficiently as possible. Let me show you how you can think of this. Every time you set up a campaign, you determine a time for which your campaign will be running. You specify who you want to target with your ads. So over the time of your campaign, there will be many opportunities to put an ad in front of your target audience. Let's represent those opportunities with dots. These opportunities will have a different price depending on how many advertisers are competing for this opportunity. In other words, it would be more expensive to put an ad in front of your target audience if more advertisers are bidding for the opportunity to put an ad in front of the same target audience. The highest volume bid strategy works by identifying the cheapest opportunities to place your ads while still achieving your results in the time frame you set. While the highest volume bid strategy can produce costs that fluctuate more often, Meta still aims to get you the highest volume of results available. And if over the time of your campaign auction competition decreases, costs may go down. If auction competition increases, costs may go up. The highest volume bid strategy takes all of this data into account when placing your ads and helps you get the most results for your budget. The highest volume bid strategy can be a very good choice if you have a limited budget and want to achieve as many results as possible for that budget. Let's go back to Cal & Ivy. When Imra opened a new pop-up store in Amsterdam and set up an ad campaign to reach people locally to generate awareness of the new location, the highest volume bid strategy was the strategy she used. She had a limited budget to market the new store, and she wanted to reach as many people as possible for that budget. The highest volume bid strategy achieved that for her. Once you've more experience in advertising on Meta and want tighter control of your bids and costs, you may want to have a look at other bidding strategies that you can choose from the drop-down menu. It's important to note that the more precisely you control your ad placement, the more constraints you place on Meta's delivery system to achieve the highest volume. This means that not all of your budget may be spent, and you may lose out on less expensive actions as a result. Let's briefly go over the other bid strategies that do give you more control. The 3 bid strategies Meta offers are called highest volume, cost per result goal, and bid cap. And we just talked about highest volume, and now we'll go over cost per result goal. The cost per result goal bid strategy allows you to set the average amount you're willing to pay for a desired outcome, like a conversion on your website. And this amount is known as the cost control. The Meta delivery system will try to stay under this average amount while still getting you the lowest cost actions. Cost controls apply to your average cost per desired outcome. So this bid type goes after the cheapest results first, and then the expensive opportunities. Some of the opportunities cost more than your cost control, but Meta may still go after them because others were sufficiently below. In other words, they'll go after the cheapest results first, but will go after more expensive opportunities once they've exhausted all the cheaper ones. And over the lifetime of your ad set, your average cost should be at or below your cost control. This bid type is best when you want to maximize cost efficiency, but also need to keep costs within a specific threshold. And given the cost control you've set, you may also not spend your entire budget with this bid type. And these are the main differentiators between cost per result goal and the highest volume bid type. Here is an example for Cal & Ivy where the cost per result goal bid strategy is a good choice. Imra has a website where people can buy her hand-bound bouquets, enroll in a subscription delivery service, and find the flower craft boxes. This website is relatively new and Imra is interested in attracting visitors to it. Imra knows that some of the visitors will ultimately buy something, but not all of them. She calculated that on average, a visit to her page is worth about $2 to her. So when setting up an ad campaign to generate more page views, Imra decided to use the cost per result goal strategy with a $2 cost control. This allows her to maximize the number of page visits for her budget while keeping the average cost per page visit at $2. The final bid strategy is called bid cap, and it works a bit differently. While the cost per result goal strategy controls for the average cost per desired outcome over time, the bid cap strategy limits what Meta can bid in every single auction. For this bid type, you set what's called a bid control, and Meta will aim to get the most results for you without bidding more than your bid control. This means that if you set a bid control of $5 and 100 opportunities become available for bids at $5.01, Meta won't enter your ad into these auctions to try to get them. In comparison, would likely go after all of them if we had chosen the cost per result goal strategy and set a cost control of $5. We recommend a bid control over a cost control only if you must tightly control the cost of every optimization event you get. And you can set your maximum bid under bid control in the optimization and delivery section at the ad set level. Here's an example of when the bid cap bid strategy might be a good choice for Calla and Ivy. Remember how Imra knows that for every flower and craft box that she sells online, she makes $20 in profit? Well, Imra decided that she really doesn't want to ever lose money on a sale of these boxes. She believes that at this point, her business cannot really deal with a loss. So she decided to use a bid cap bid strategy for her campaign focused on sales of these boxes. She set her bid cap at $20, so Meta will not pursue any conversions more costly than $20. That way, she knows that she won't be selling any of these boxes at a loss. That was a lot to cover. For now, we recommend sticking with highest volume. That way, Meta will spend our whole budget as efficiently as possible. And once we have a better sense of how our brand and products are performing for a given audience, and we increase budgets, we might want to consider switching to one of the other two bid strategies. Great job, you successfully completed another week. We're now ready to move to the ad set level in the next module. But before we do that, let's briefly go over what we've covered in this module. In Lesson 1, you first learned how to align your business goals with the campaign objectives offered in Ads Manager. Your campaign objective defines what you want people to do when they see your ads, and it will also determine how Meta will optimize the delivery of your ad. We also went through a number of examples of how to choose the campaign objective that is right for achieving your business goals. In Lesson 2, we first discussed how to calculate your campaign budget. Remember that you want to make sure to not spend more on advertising than what you make in profit. And we then had a look at how to set your daily and your lifetime budgets in Ads Manager. You also learned that Meta's Advantage campaign budget directs your advertising dollars to the ad sets that are providing the best outcome at any given moment in time. We then went on to explain the different bid strategies you can choose from: highest volume, cost per result goal, and bid cap. We concluded Lesson 2 with a first overview of how to run A/B tests in Ads Manager. In next week's module, you'll learn about the available audience targeting options in Ads Manager and how to choose ad placements and set a schedule for your ad sets. So, see you next week. Welcome back. We're 3 weeks into learning the ins and outs of actually implementing ads on Facebook. And well, we've got a lot more to learn. So this week we're moving to the ad set level. And you'll learn about the available audience targeting options in Ads Manager and how to choose ad placements and set a schedule for your ad sets. Let's have a closer look at this week's lessons. In Lesson 1, we'll start off with explaining what audiences are and give you an overview of the 3 audience targeting options in Ads Manager. We'll then go over each of these targeting options in detail and learn how you can create core audiences, custom audiences, and lookalike audiences in Ads Manager. We'll also cover how to leverage the Facebook pixel to increase the power of your audience targeting. In Lesson 2, you'll first learn how to choose ad placements for your campaigns in Ads Manager. Next, we'll discuss a number of different options that you have in Ads Manager to optimize the delivery of your ads. You'll then learn how to schedule your ad sets in Ads Manager and how to more accurately anticipate campaign success by estimating your audience reach. Well, now that you know what to expect, let's go over how to create your audience in Ads Manager and go over the types of audiences you can choose from. Before we look at how to create audiences in Meta Ads Manager, here's a story. Your niece's birthday is coming up and you want to get her a gift. She is a teen who loves to read, so you head to the bookstore where you ask a bookseller for some help. And instead of pointing the way to the young adult fiction section and leaving you to browse, the bookseller asks you some questions. How old is she? Where does she live? What does she like to do in her spare time? And what other books or movies did she enjoy? You answer, she's 16, lives outside of New York City, loves to draw, and is into stuff like the Hunger Games. Based on that information, the bookseller pulls a book from the shelf about a teenage girl who saves the world in a dystopic New York City, and the book is full of cool illustrations. You give your niece the book and she loves it, saying, "This is the perfect gift." Now, how does this relate to Meta Ads Manager? Because your teenage niece was the target audience for that book. And if you think about your business, you're creating a product that you want to get into the hands of people who are going to say that this is the perfect gift or this is exactly what they were looking for. So instead of advertising to everyone on the planet and wasting your dollars doing so, you want to focus on those who will be most interested in you and your product and who will be most likely to buy it. And creating a target audience isn't so much about targeting certain people by name, but about choosing characteristics of groups of people that line up with who you think would be most interested in your business. For your niece, it was a teenage girl who likes to read, likes books like The Hunger Games, lives in New York City, and loves to draw. When you advertise using Meta Ads Manager, you can specify the audience you would like to show your ads to. And you do that by creating an audience for your ads. There are 3 different ways to create an audience on Ads Manager. You can define a new audience, a custom audience, or a lookalike audience. And we'll discuss all of them in more detail in the next video. But in this video, we'll focus on the first audience type, the new audience. When you create a new audience in Ads Manager, there are 3 main categories of characteristics to consider. Demographics are the most fundamental and include age, location, and language. Meta also includes educational level, income, relationship status, and occupation or industry in demographics as well. You can also target an audience's interests, like their music preferences, what their hobbies are, if they like to go out to eat, or what kind of shopping they do. You can further narrow down your audience by targeting behaviors based on people's activity on Facebook, including purchasing behavior, device usage, political affiliation, or how often they travel. Note that some of these targeting criteria might not be available in every country. Utilize all 3 categories to get hyper-targeted audiences for your marketing efforts. Not only will you find those who will be most likely to be interested in your business, but you'll also not waste your ad spend on those who wouldn't. Also, if you've tried Meta advertising before and didn't get the return you expected, you might not have gotten specific enough with your audience. A business may use multiple target audiences when creating campaigns. A business's product or services may appeal to different types of people. For example, Apple products appeal to people who are into tech products, but they also appeal to creative professionals and artists. And a business may also have different types or lines of products and services that appeal to different audiences. For example, Patagonia has its line of everyday clothing and its line of camping and hiking equipment. And in each of these cases, you would not only have different target audiences, but your marketing messages would be different as well. So consider your primary audience to be the audience you connect with the most. You create organic and paid content with them in mind. And they'll be the ones buying your products, or who you'll hopefully entice to buy your products if you run an awareness-focused campaign, and will spread the message as your biggest fans on social media. And this will be the audience you'll use for demographic, interests, and behavior filter criteria to capture on Ads Manager. But like we mentioned above, your secondary target audience may be outside those specific targets, but it's still considered valuable in that they will have interest in your product or services. They may be a specific audience that's interested in the line of your products, for example, or maybe a more niche segment in your market. They may even become part of your primary target audiences someday. In Course 1, we talked about the importance in marketing of defining your target audience. It's worth it to make the investment into understanding and narrowing your target audience before you start creating campaigns. That way, setting up your audience and your campaigns will be easy once you get to Ads Manager, as you won't be trying to think it through on the fly. Now, how does Meta make sure that our advertising gets to the right target audience? How are they able to offer so many choices as we set up our audience? Well, there's a variety of different data sources that Meta uses in order to match you with the right audience. When a user on Facebook sets up a profile, they typically fill out basic information like age, gender, location, education level, relationship status, and occupation. And Meta uses this information to determine the demographics data. Audience interests are gathered based on what people interact with on Facebook or Instagram, like what pages they follow, what posts they like, what they shared, and what links they clicked on. Location information can be based on the location someone updates on their profile, from where they check in, or from where they are connected to the internet. And the Meta Pixel can also give you a lot of insights about your audience's behaviors as well, which you can use to refine your targeting. The Pixel is a piece of code that you drop into your website and that then tracks your audience's interaction with your website, your app, and Facebook. And we'll learn more about Pixel in an upcoming lesson, but it will be a helpful tool to help you optimize your advertising for them and to build new audiences. If you're curious to see how you personally have interacted with advertising on Facebook, or if you want to alter your information or settings, head to facebook.com/ads/preferences. Also, be aware that just as you are targeting characteristics of your audience and not specific people, Meta targets characteristics of their users and never gives names or personal identifying information back to the businesses. Finally, the most important thing you can do as a business is to get the right products or services to the customers who need it. And by thoroughly understanding your target audiences and by utilizing the options on Meta Ads Manager to create that target audience, you'll be making it a lot easier for your products and services and your customers to match up. Now that you understand the importance of having a target audience or two, and that you can use demographics, interests, and behaviors to get hyper-focused on the people you want to target with your advertising, let's look at the 3 different types of audiences you can create in Meta Ads Manager: a new audience, a custom audience, and a lookalike audience. And each audience type can fulfill your different advertising objectives in different ways, so you can utilize the right audience for each campaign you run. We'll go into detail on how to create each one in upcoming lessons, but let's go through an overview of the 3 types. You'll create and define audiences in Ads Manager at the ad set level. While you can assign different audiences to each campaign, you can further segment your audiences per ad, which means whatever audience you choose will apply to all ads in your ad set. The first type of audience you can create is a new audience, which is an audience you create manually by choosing all the characteristics of the people you want to see your advertising, because you believe they'll be the most interested and the most likely to act. Here's a quick overview of how you set up a new audience in Ads Manager. We'll do this in more detail in a later video. The audience screen will default to Create New Audience, and you can create your new audience here. First, pick the location where you want to advertise. You can target whole countries, cities, or even specific zip codes. Next, set the age of your audience. If you know that your business caters to millennials, for example, set the age to just that generation. Set the gender to target your audience, either men, women, or all. And only set the language if you're targeting non-native speakers in your location. Otherwise, leave it blank. The audience definition section at the top will monitor your audience size. And it basically shows you how many people on the platform fall in the audience that you have specified. Having an audience size of a few million may not help you as much as having a very targeted audience. The detailed targeting section is where you will be able to drill down into the specific demographics, such as education level and occupation, interests, such as hobbies and pastimes, and behaviors, such as device usage. You can browse the curated list from Meta or start typing in keywords you have predetermined for your target audience. And finally, under connections, you can choose to include or exclude people who interact with your page, app, or events. In other words, you can exclude people who are already following you to find new audience members. Your new audience is all set, so use this audience to find the people who should know about your product or services and either start them on their customer journey or raise their awareness of your brand. The second type of audience is a custom audience, which allows you to target people who've already interacted with your business in some way and who you want to nurture along their customer journey. For example, a custom audience could target longtime customers with an ad or people who've expressed interest by visiting your app or website. And this targeting of customers or potential customers who've had some kind of touchpoint with your business already is called retargeting. Let's have a first look at how you can create a custom audience in Ads Manager. In the audience section at the ad set level, we click on Create New under Custom Audiences. Now we can choose from two different kinds of data sources to build our audience: our own data or data from meta sources. Our own data sources allow us to target people who visited or performed certain actions on our website or in our mobile app. And this information is tracked through the Meta Pixel. We can also build a custom audience by uploading a list of online or offline customers. With metadata sources, we can build a custom audience targeting those who watched a video we posted, filled out a lead form, visited our Instagram profile or Facebook page, or interacted with an event we have created. You can then pair your custom audience with criteria such as location, age, gender, and other demographic interests and behaviors to achieve an even more targeted audience. The third audience type you can create in Ads Manager is a lookalike audience, which is an audience that is built off an existing custom audience and looks like your current customers in terms of demographic data, interests, and behaviors. The thinking here is that because your current customers are interested in your business, people like them will probably be interested too. First, you'll start with a source audience, which will be a custom audience like we just explored. Use data from your website or app, upload an email list, or use the metadata sources we've seen earlier to create this source audience. Next, set the location you want to target. For example, you could target similar audiences in different regions. And using the information you provide, Meta will then find and target people with similar characteristics. Meta will also allow you to select how closely you want the audience to look like your source audience, from very similar to less similar. And the broader you go, the bigger the audience will be. You can also create multiple lookalike audiences with different similarity sizes and use them for the same or different ad sets. This was a first overview of the three audience types you can create in Ads Manager: new audiences, custom audiences, and lookalike audiences. And by carefully specifying the criteria of your ideal customers and using the information you've collected on your loyal customers, you have a better shot at finding new customers. In other words, what you get out of Ads Manager audiences is only as good as what you put in. In the next video, we'll take a deep dive into creating new audiences in Ads Manager. We've learned about the three types of audiences you can create in Meta Ads Manager and how each one is going to help your business find new customers, retain loyal customers, and grow your sales. In this video, we'll have a closer look at new audiences and create a new audience for our flower shop in Amsterdam, Calla and Ivy. We'll create our new audience at the ad set level in Ads Manager, which you get to after you've created a campaign and selected your campaign objective. In the audience section here, we can choose to either create a new audience or use a saved one. We'll create a new one. Here's where Meta will ask you if you want to create a custom audience or lookalike audience, but we'll get to those in another lesson. For now, we'll focus on creating a new audience. Ideally, you've already done your work around knowing who your audience is, which will make setting them up a lot more easier and more focused. Back in course 1, we created a target audience for Cal and Ivy, which we can then have in front of us now as we go through the options. The first step in creating a new audience is to define the location of our audience. Ads Manager gives us 4 options for this. People living in or recently in this location, people living in this location, people recently in this location, or people traveling in this location. And targeting one of these may be more useful for a specific business objective, but we'll leave the default selected, which will give us the most reach. Cal and Ivy is located in Amsterdam, so we'll type that into the box, where we'll see the options appear in a dropdown. We could narrow our target down to the neighborhood Cal and Ivy does business in, but for now we'll just leave the city. And we can use the slider to get more concentrated in our mileage, or we can just select current city only. And we can follow along in the audience definition section to see how our choices are affecting our target audience size. Remember that the more targeted and specific the audience, the better, because they will be more aligned to our marketing efforts. Next, we'll set the age. Because of the work we did before, we know that our target audience is between 25 and 55. We also know that we want to target all genders, so we can leave the default as is. As you can see, we've narrowed our audience a bit more. But now, let's take advantage of Ads Manager's detailed targeting section, which is where we'll add more information about our audience's demographics, interests, and behaviors. We can choose Browse to look through the options that Ad Manager shows us, or we can simply start typing. Since Cal and Ivy is a flower shop, let's type in flowers. It will auto-suggest selections for us and will also show you the size of the audience who are interested in flowers, so you can see how broad or narrow that audience is. For cut flowers, we can see that the potential audience is over 1 million people and includes both Facebook and Instagram users, but before applying our demographic targeting. Let's add in flower bouquet and floral design as well. And we would choose the floral design that's under interest instead of field of study. We can see in the audience definition section that we've narrowed our target audience now to 11,000 people. We have a few more pieces of information on our target audience template, so let's get into the Browse feature to select some of these options. From our template, we know that our target audience has at least an undergraduate degree. So let's add in college grad, master's degree, and doctorate degree. We see now, though, that our target audience has expanded back to 250,000. And this means that Meta is including anyone who has an interest in flowers or who meets the education level criteria. But what if we want to target people who have an interest in flowers who then also hold degrees? Well, we wouldn't include that criteria in the main box, but we would go below into narrow audience. And that will give us the option to include targeting that matches or overlaps. When we add degree holders who also have an interest in flowers, our target becomes much narrower. You can also use this tool to exclude certain demographics as well. Since we found our flower categories under interests, let's browse through that category to see what else might be applicable. Hobbies and activities are probably where we find more targeting options. And home and garden looks promising. Let's add gardening to our audience criteria as well. In our target audience template, we also specified that our audience probably shops online. So let's include this as well. But instead of including this in our main criteria, which will give us a lot of people, let's choose narrow further and include it there. Our audience size is now at 61,000, which is the number of people who fit our criteria on Facebook and Instagram and who have the potential to see our ad. But our advertising won't necessarily go to all 61,000 users. Who sees our ad will depend on our campaign objective, the budget we set, and the ad placement options we choose. Still, knowing the potential size of an audience helps us in understanding the impact of our marketing efforts. Again, you don't want to put your ad in front of a large number of people who may not be interested in Cal and Ivy, as that will be a waste of money and effort, like finding a needle in a haystack. But targeting an audience of 61,000 people who we already know live in the city Cal and Ivy serves, shop online, which is how Cal and Ivy does business, and already have an interest in what Cal and Ivy has to offer, is going to be an excellent use of time and money. We can also turn on Advantage Detail Targeting, which is available on all campaign objectives except for awareness. And this signals to Meta that we would like them to help us with our reach. They will expand the audience to include people who might be interested in the ad, but that the audience might not have captured. Now we can set criteria under Connections, which will allow us to include or exclude people who have some kind of connection to us. If our goal is to expand our audience, we wouldn't want to include people who already like our page. Instead, we might choose Exclude people who currently like or follow your page to find new followers. We may also choose people similar to those who currently like or follow your page, since they may be more inclined to engage because they're similar to our current follower base. Once we feel satisfied with our audience, we can save it and give it a name. And we can always come back and edit it later if we want to narrow or broaden specific categories. Ads Manager will put this in the saved audiences for us to use in future campaigns or to create lookalike audiences. In the next video, we'll have a closer look at the Meta Pixel, which powers some of the data sources you can use to build custom and lookalike audiences. You may be wondering what the Meta Pixel is that we've mentioned in our previous lessons. Well, at its core, it's just a string of code that you add to your website. But it has the ability to boost your marketing efforts, helps you build better audiences through customer insights, optimize your ad performance, and measure your ad spend. It's simple to set up, and even though it leverages extensive resources from Meta, it's free to use. To set your pixel up, go to Ads Manager, go to the Events Manager, and click Connect Data Sources. Meta Pixel is one of the ways in which you can connect data about what goes on your website with Meta. And there are a few other ways, but those are outside the scope of this course. We'll be connecting the data from our website, so click Web, and this initiates the pixel setup. Meta will ask you to name your pixel, and a unique ID is created for you. And that's it. Keep in mind that every ad account has one pixel to use. Now you can take that ID and either manually add it to your website, if you know how to, or you can take advantage of Meta's partnership with websites like Squarespace, WordPress, and Shopify to easily add the code to your site through their tutorial. And that's all for setup. Once you add a Meta Pixel to your site, it begins collecting data for you. And the data is sent to Meta, and you can build specific audiences with that data. You can then create custom audiences to retarget customers who've interacted with your website or brand in some way, and create lookalike audiences to find more people who may be interested in your products. If you've ever put something in an online shopping cart and left it there, and then saw an ad for that product a day later, you've already seen the pixel in action. So how does the pixel know that I put an item in my cart if my pixel runs across my entire web page? Well, it does this through an additional piece of code that tracks specific actions taken on your website. These specific actions are called events. And if you want to track a specific event, you need to put the code on the web page where that event happens. For example, let's think about tracking purchases. You know that a customer's completed a transaction if they hit the payment confirmation page. So you would put the event code on the payment confirmation page. So now when someone lands on that page, you can see it as them having completed a purchase on the back end. And there are a number of different events that the pixel can track, including making a purchase, adding an item to shopping cart, doing a search, submitting a form, adding payment information, starting the checkout process, viewing a specific web page, and many more. And we mentioned before that we can retarget customers who haven't completed their purchases with ads for the same product, which will hopefully jog their memory. Or we can retarget customers who did make purchases and show them similar products they may also like. We can also make sure that our advertising gets to someone who visited one of our websites recently so that we can stay at the top of their mind. Meta Pixel can also track conversions from your ad campaigns. Not just how many people click on a link that brings them to your site, but if someone who clicked on that link made also a purchase. And this is a great way to see if you're getting a good return on your ad spend by seeing the cost of a conversion. And you can tell if you're making $100 of every $1 of advertising spend, or if you're spending $100 on advertising to make only $1. The pixel will also help create custom audiences for you, which you can use for retargeting. As it gathers data about your customers, you can easily create audiences of those who complete purchases, those who buy specific products, those who've visited your site in the past 24 hours, or those who haven't been back in a week, those who've subscribed to your newsletter, and many more. And Meta will use that data it collects to match it with the user profiles on Facebook, Instagram, and Audience Network so you can market to them. You can also create lookalike audiences based on that data, or audiences who aren't your customers but with the same characteristics as your customers to expand your marketing efforts and grow your business. Note that all the data that is collected goes through a process called hashing to keep the data anonymous at all times. We'll talk about data hashing again later. Let's take a look at what the Meta Pixel can do for Calla & Ivy. Calla & Ivy's core business offering is their subscription model for unique, handcrafted flower bouquets. Imra created a new subscription offering, a weekly seasonal arrangement, and wants to promote this new subscription using Meta ads. You could simply set up the ad and let it run, but a better business decision would be to use the Pixel to track conversions, not only to see how many click-throughs the ad received, but how many people who clicked on the ad signed up for a subscription. When we set up the ad for Calla & Ivy, we'll click Conversions in the Objectives in Ads Manager, which will track who signed up using the event-specific code on the sign-up page on the website. Since the Pixel talks to both the website and Meta platforms, it will track the customers who visited the website through a Meta ad and convert it. You can then track all of the conversions in Ads Manager. Calla & Ivy can now more accurately track the success of their ad campaign and see the result of their ad spend as well. Capturing subscription conversions is just one of the events that Calla & Ivy can use the Pixel for, as we just saw, and this will allow them to optimize their advertising, save money and time, and get the right message to the right people. Meta Pixel is a powerful tool that allows you to better target your ads, as well as measure the effectiveness of your advertising by understanding the actions people take on your website. In the next video, we'll have a close look at custom audiences and how to set them up in Ads Manager. Let's set up another audience for Calla & Ivy. This time we'll create a custom audience, which will contain people who have already interacted in some way with the business, whether it be engaging with a Facebook post, visiting the website, making a purchase, or subscribing to a newsletter. The great thing is that Meta's robust resources, which include the Meta Pixel, are going to help us create those audiences. Or we can pair data that we as business have created and merge it with Meta's data. By the end of this video, you should have a good understanding of what types of custom audiences Ads Manager offers and how to set them up. So let's create a custom audience for Calla & Ivy. And you'll create a custom audience where we created our new audience earlier, at the ad set level in Ads Manager. Under Custom Audiences, we're going to select Create New and then Custom Audience. Ads Manager is then going to show you a pop-up to determine what kind of custom audience you want to create based on what your data source is. Let's go over each one so you understand your options. The first group contains sources that a business would supply. The website option sources data from the Pixel on your website and can track page visits and actions or events. And we could use this to target recent visitors to Calla & Ivy's website. Next, you could upload a customer list, which Meta then anonymizes and pairs it with the data to find the right people to build an audience. If Calla & Ivy had a list from their point of sale system, an email newsletter they send through a tool like MailChimp, or even manual signups from a pop-up shop, they could use it here. For app activity, you can create a custom audience of people who interacted with your business's app, and you can then track that by installing an SDK, which is like the Pixel for your app. If Calla & Ivy had an app, they could track who made purchases through it as opposed to the website. Offline activity is information acquired manually from customers, usually offline, whether it be collecting emails at the aforementioned pop-up shop, gathering information over the phone, or a number of other ways. Calla & Ivy can use this option to start a digital relationship with face-to-face customers. The next group of sources comes directly from Meta's database. Calla & Ivy could create an audience from the people who watched a video that they shared on their page on how to arrange a bouquet. They could also create an audience of people who checked out their Instagram account. And they could also create an audience from those who filled out their lead form through a lead ad that they ran on Facebook or Instagram. Calendly could also create an audience of people who RSVP to events that they posted on Facebook. And if Calendly created a full-screen instant experience ad, they can create an audience of people who opened it. Finally, Calendly can create an audience of their Facebook page followers or anyone who has browsed or purchased products in their Facebook or Instagram shop. Now, let's create a custom audience for Calendly of website visitors. They recently increased their social media post frequency and have been getting a boost in website traffic from organic means. And Imra doesn't want those who are now interested in Calendly to slip away. So we'll create an audience of website visitors from the past 30 days so that we can retarget them with advertising and keep our business top of mind. We'll select website, which will bring up another box. And here you find the pixel ready to do its work, waiting with a green circle, which is how you know it's active. The screen will default to all website visitors in the past 30 days. And that would certainly cover our needs. But if Imra knows that a blog post started the influx of website visitors that was posted 15 days ago, we could change this to 15. Or we could change this to 3 to ensure a quick turnaround in our retargeting. But we can get even more detailed. We could set this up to create an audience of people who visited the blog post, or who went to a product page, or who made a purchase. Or we could narrow their criteria and just create an audience of people who visited the blog post and then made a purchase. We could also track visitors by the time spent on the page. For now, we'll stick to just website visitors in the past 30 days. We'll name the audience and click Create Audience. Ads Manager will now ask if you want to create a lookalike audience or start creating an ad. We'll hold off for now, but Imra could begin targeting this audience with specific messaging or offers that keep them engaged and get them to return. Now let's work with a list from the pop-up shop Calendly hosted at a street fair. Imra was on site selling freshly cut bouquets and giving flower arrangement demonstrations. She also had an iPad where those interested could sign up for her newsletter and okayed that their information was used for further marketing purposes. Those signups can become a custom audience. On our data sources screen, we'll choose Customer List. Ads Manager will then give us some more information about preparing the file, and we should have it ready to go in either CSV or text format. It will also give us a list of identifiers we should include in our file, so Meta can match our information to that database. Ads Manager will then ask if we have a value associated with our customer, which will be a number denoting how much they're spent with us. And we'll bypass this with a no. Now, we can either upload our file or copy and paste in identifiers from our file. We'll go ahead and upload our file, which will provide Meta with the information for it to be able to do its matching. We'll name the list and click Next. And that's it. Meta will prepare the list and will now be able to set up campaign targeting our custom audience of people from the street fair. Let's create an audience based on meta sources. Imra posted a tutorial video of how to create a flower bouquet, which received a lot of engagement. She's launching a 6-week flower arranging course and has the idea to target the people who are interested in the video with an ad for the course. On our data sources screen, we'll select video under the meta sources. Now we'll be able to pick some criteria for our audience, starting with how long they watched it. Since the video was 3 minutes long, we probably don't want people who clicked away after a few seconds. And only a very small number may have watched it all the way through to the end. So let's select people who've watched at least 50% of your video. Now we can choose the video. Imra was thinking specifically of one video, but she may choose some of the other tutorial videos she's done to include in the audience as well, as it will give her a greater audience to target. Imra can also choose between the Calendly Facebook page or the Instagram business profile. Next, we'll adjust the time horizon for viewing this video. We'll set this for the past month, so our retargeting ad for the course can be immediate. Finally, we'll name the audience and create it. Once we select a custom audience to work with, we'll still have the location, demographic, interest, and behavior criteria that we can use to further narrow down our audience, like we did for a new audience. But since the custom audience is usually already quite specific and targeting to our needs, it's probably not worth adding more targeting on top. And we create as many different custom audiences as we like and use them in specific campaigns with targeted calls to action. In the next video, we'll have a closer look at lookalike audiences and how to set them up. If you have a set of core customers who love your products and brand, other people with the same interests and behaviors would probably also be interested in your products and brand and have the potential to become loyal customers. And this is the basic idea behind lookalike audiences. In this video, you'll learn how to set them up in Meta Ads Manager and use them to reach your business objectives. In order to create a lookalike audience, you have to have a source audience. This could be your Facebook page followers or one of the custom audiences you created. Meta will then take the characteristics from the people in that list, demographics, interests, and behaviors, and find people among its users with those same or similar characteristics and create an entirely new audience with these people. Let's create a few lookalike audiences for Cal and Ivy to illustrate the process in Ads Manager. We'll once again go back to the ad set level in Ads Manager, and under Create New Audience, we'll select Create New and Lookalike Audience. First, we need source data. If you click into the text box, a drop-down will appear, giving you two options: value-based sources or other sources. Value-based sources will be lists that contain information on customer spending or how valuable a customer is to your business. You can either upload a list with customer value attached, like we talked about in the last lesson, or the Meta Pixel can track conversions and compile value points for your customers. The idea here is that you create a lookalike audience based off of dollars spent. We're going to use the other sources selection for now, which is where the custom audiences we created live. We'll create a lookalike audience based off of the website visitor audience we created, which tracked all visitors to our site from the past month. It's worth noting that the source audience you use should at least have 100 people, but ideally you have at least 1,000 people in your source audience. Now, Ads Manager asks about an audience location. We kept our new audience just to the city of Amsterdam, but maybe we want to expand this. And since Cal and Ivy's business offering are freshly cut flower bouquets, it wouldn't necessarily make sense to target the world. But Cal and Ivy have some great partnerships with shipping companies who are able to ship fresh flowers overnight. So let's select all of Europe. Now we'll ask us about the audience size and give us some options on how we want to approach our lookalike audience here. First, we're not confined to one audience. We can create multiple lookalike audiences with varying degrees of similarity among them. Let's start with one which shows us a potential audience size of 3.9 million people across all of Europe. It defaults to the 1% of people in Europe that are the most aligned to the characteristics of the source audience. And we can move the slider all the way up to 10% of the European population, which still has some similarity to your source audience, but not as tight as 1%. Well, let's create two lookalike audiences. A second point now appears on the scale, and we can adjust them as we'd like. We can keep one audience very similar to our source audience, and the second one that's a little more broad. This will give us the ability to see which one gives us more returns. Once we're satisfied with this, we can click Create Audience. Let's create another lookalike audience based off the custom audience we created who are interested in Imra's video tutorials on how to make flower bouquets. Imra has decided that she's going to hold her 6-week flower arranging class online, which means it's now open to anyone in the world, not just those in Amsterdam. Let's go back to our ad set and click on Create New Audience and Lookalike Audience. Again, we'll set the source data and choose the Cal and Ivy videos audiences we made, which collected an audience of those who had shown interest in Imra's flower arranging videos. Next, it asks us about location. So should we target the entire world? Anyone could take the course now that it's online. But let's think about how to narrow it down. Through the Insights dashboard on Facebook and from the analytics on the website, we can figure out from which countries our top traffic is coming from. And since we already have people visiting the site from those countries, let's use them. Since our source audience was pretty small, let's broaden our audience size a bit so our lookalike audience isn't so exact to the original. We'll bring it to 7%. Now we'll create our audience so we can use it in a campaign advertising the online course. Once Imra holds her course, she can then create a new custom audience of its attendees and do the process all over again. It may take up to 24 hours for your lookalike audience to be created. And once you created it, you can't go back and edit the audience size. You would have to create a new one. And just as long as you're actively using your lookalike audience in a campaign, Meta will keep it updated for you. Once you have your lookalike audience to work with, you can apply location, demographic, interest, and behavior criteria to further target your audience. Imra might, for example, narrow her lookalike audiences with language targeting to make sure that her ads and online courses are understood by her audience. Even though you're now familiar with the 3 types of audiences and how to create them in Ads Manager, as well as what the metapixel is and how it works, you've still only just begun to discover how you can more precisely target audiences and use them to your advantage. For now, the biggest takeaway is simply being aware of the advantage targeting specific audiences can give you as you reach more customers and grow your business. Now that we've learned about how to create audiences and the importance of getting your business's marketing message to the right people, let's learn how to actually get that message to them through ad placements. Once you've created your audience, the next section at the ad set level is placements, where you will determine where your ads will appear. You can manually decide not only on which platforms they will appear, but also adjust where they will appear. We'll go over those options in a bit. Under placements, you'll find just 2 options: Advantage Plus placements and manual placements. Advantage Plus placements is the default, where you let Ads Manager decide where to show your ads, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, or the audience network. Using this option, the delivery system will automatically allocate your budget as well. Because Meta can choose from the widest range of advertising opportunities possible, Advantage Plus placements are typically the most efficient use of your budget. And targeting works the same across all available placements, so including more placements often helps you find a wider audience and reach more people. Let's hear directly from Meta how Advantage Plus placements works.
Now you can share your ad beyond Facebook with automatic placements. With automatic placements, your ad is shown across the Facebook family of apps and services, and we optimize performance in real time so that your ad has the opportunity to appear in more places at the same cost to you. For example, with a $10 budget and advertising only on Facebook, you get 4 results. When you select automatic placements, there are more places to show your ad. Now, a $10 budget gets 7 results. The lower cost placements are filled first, giving you more results for your same budget. Reach more people. Select automatic placements when creating an ad today.
Let's now talk about manual placements. There can be times where you might want to decide where your ad is placed for reasons that may align better with your objectives or your audience's behaviors. In that case, you'll choose manual placements. And once you do select manual placements in Ads Manager, you'll be shown a long list of options you can choose from, and we'll go through each one. First, we'll decide on the devices where we'd like our ads placed. The default is all devices, mobile and desktop, so that you can have the greatest reach across platforms. Depending on your objective and where you send people after clicking your ad, you might want to consider only targeting people on one type of device. For example, if your landing page contains a long form but people have to upload additional documents, targeting only desktop users can be a good idea. Also be aware that certain campaign objectives come with limited device placement options. Next, we'll choose the platform. It defaults to Facebook, Instagram, Audience Network, and Messenger. If you want to run your ad just on 1 or 2 of these platforms, you can. Just know that the more platforms are checked, the wider your reach will typically be. However, each platform has its own costs, audiences, and behaviors. So if you're targeting users who are mostly concentrated on one platform, it can be a good idea to just select that one. After selecting your platforms, Ads Manager will let you really customize where you want your ads to appear on each platform. First, you can decide whether you want your ad to be featured across all feeds on Facebook, Instagram, or Messenger, or just specific feeds. Next, you can choose from a number of stories and Reels placements. These ads appear in people's stories on Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger as a user clicks through, as well as in the Reels tab on Instagram and Facebook. Your ad can also be featured in-stream, which is a 5 to 15 second ad on a desktop or 5 seconds to 10 minutes on mobile. Your ad appears before, after, or during a video, similar to commercial break. The next option is called overlay and post-loop ads on Reels. With this, you can have your ads appear as banners or stickers on top of Facebook Reels. Next, you can choose to have your ads placed in Facebook search results. When this option is chosen, your ads will come up next to relevant Facebook and Marketplace search results. Next, you have the messages option. Sponsored messages lets you send offers, promotions, updates to people you have had conversations with about your business. Ads can also appear between paragraphs in Facebook Instant Articles. Finally, you can have your ad featured in external apps on Audience Network. Hover over any of the placements to see a sample of what your ad will look like and where it will be located. And as you hover over, you'll also see suggestions for the creative ratio to fit each platform you choose. You'll need to make sure that you keep these platforms and placements in mind as you're creating your ad. Under Show More options, you'll have some specific filters you can set depending on the campaign objective you choose. You can narrow down the operating system, show only when connected to Wi-Fi, or adjust your requirements on skippable ads. Once you've picked all the placements you want your ads to appear in, or decided to go with Advantage Plus placements instead, you're ready to optimize your ad sets delivery, which we'll do in the next video. Now that we've decided where to place our ads, there's still further optimization we can do around who sees it. When you create an ad, you will choose an optimization for ad delivery, where you will want to indicate to Ads Manager what result you want from your ads. That way, Meta can find the people in your audience who are most likely to fulfill that result for you. For example, if you optimize for link clicks, your ads are targeted to people in your audience who are most likely to click the ad links. If you optimize for video views, Meta will target people most likely to view your video. And depending on the objective you set for your campaign, Meta will let you select between different ad delivery optimization options. And we'll cover these options in this video. So we're back in Ads Manager, and our campaign objective is set to traffic, to drive relevant people to our website. Now at the ad set level, we'll go to the Optimization and Delivery section. And here you'll find Optimization for Ad Delivery, and you'll see a drop-down of options which change depending on your campaign objective. Based on Meta's understanding of its users and your Meta Pixel data, it knows when certain people are more likely to take a specific action than others. If we want our audience to visit a landing page, we'll choose to optimize for landing page views. Meta will then show our ad to users who are likely to click on the link and load the page, which, if we're looking for more traffic to our website, is what we want. If we want to optimize for link clicks, Facebook will show your ad to people with a history of actively clicking on links. If we choose to optimize for daily unique reach, Meta will deliver ads to unique users once a day to increase our reach. And if we optimize for impressions instead, Meta will show our ad to people as many times as possible. These were the ad delivery optimization options you have for the traffic campaign objective. If we, however, change our campaign objective to leads, our ad delivery optimization options change to just one, leads. Meta will deliver our ads to the people in our audience most likely to complete the lead form in the ad. It's important to note that if you choose the sales objective, you'll need to have the Meta Pixel set up, as well as at least one Meta Pixel event. You can then choose one of your Meta Pixel events to optimize for, such as add to cart, purchase, etc. And this will indicate to Meta what action you want people to take when they see your ad, and they will look for people in your audience that are most likely to fulfill that action using your past pixel data. Optimization for ad delivery will always default to what Ads Manager thinks is going to be the best option for your campaign objective. But you always want to be sure it's set to what you would like to achieve based on your marketing goals. We've now our ads optimized to display to members of our target audience who are most likely to take the action we specified. Let's now take a brief look at the few additional spending control options you have in the optimization and delivery section. First, cost and bid controls. And depending on the campaign bid strategy you pick at the campaign level, you can set a cost or bid control here. As you might recall, if your bidding strategy is highest volume, Meta will use its machine learning tools to spend your whole budget as efficiently as possible. As a result, you won't need to set a bid here. However, if you do choose to bid using the cost per result goal or the bid cap strategy, you would now enter your cost control or your bid control here. So if your bidding strategy was cost per result goal, then you would set your goal for the average cost per action, in this case a landing page view, here. And if your bidding strategy was bid cap, then you would set the maximum you want Facebook to bid for an action in each auction here. It's good to note here that some of the bid strategies are not available for certain objectives. Finally, let's click on Show More Options. Here we can decide when we get charged or when money is deducted from our budget. Typically, this will be per impression or every time our ad is displayed to someone. Meta defaults to impressions here to give us the best chance of having someone take action while efficiently spending your budget. Depending on the optimization for ad delivery option you choose above, you can also choose to be charged based on certain actions. You could, for example, choose to be charged whenever someone clicks on an ad link or watches a certain percentage of a video. In most cases, cost per impression gets you the more efficient results, but it can be worthwhile to test what works best in your case. In the next video, we'll have a closer look at the options we have in Ads Manager to schedule our ad sets. See you there. Now it's time to schedule our ad set. You may be tempted to just turn it on and let it run, and that may be fine for your campaign. But if your ad is time sensitive, for example, it promotes an event on a certain date or limited offer, or if you want to optimize for when your audience is online, you want to be strategic in how you set your schedule. So in this video, you'll learn what options Ads Manager gives you to set a schedule for your ad sets. While you will set your schedule for your ads at the ad set level, the options you have are determined by what type of budget you choose at the campaign level. As you might recall, as part of selecting Advantage Campaign Budget, you have the option to select either a daily or lifetime budget. A daily budget will allow you to begin running your ad set right away after it was approved by Meta, or you can set it to start in the future and for a certain period of time. We'll see how to make that choice at the ad set level in a moment. If you now click on More Options, you will see that with daily budgets, you won't be able to set a specific ad schedule. This means that your Meta ads will run at all hours of all days of the week. So if you do need to have campaigns active only during certain days of the week or times of the day, then daily budgets might not be the way to go. We'll have the ad scheduling option when we look at lifetime budgets in just a moment. Now, with a daily budget set, let's head to the ad set level to see our options for scheduling. We can now set a start date and an optional end date for our ad to run. All you have to do is pick the right dates and times, and Meta will spend an amount close to your daily budget every day until it reaches the end you have set or you turn it off manually. Now let's go back to the campaign level and change our option to lifetime budget. Now to see how you can set up ad scheduling, let's check the box next to Run Ads on a Schedule. If we now go to the Budget and Schedule section at the ad set level, we first have to set a start and an end date. Let's pick October 1st through October 31st, and Meta will spend our lifetime budget across those days. Next, we can set our ad schedule. In other words, we can target which days and hours we want our ad to run. We can set it every day between specific times, or set it by the day. For example, weekdays between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m., or just on weekends. While scheduling your ads can be really useful, you should keep in mind that it can also limit your ad delivery. So you might miss out on valuable conversions outside the window you scheduled. So don't be too restrictive unless it's absolutely necessary. Keep in mind that ads need to run for at least 1 hour. Ads may also bleed over the time you set here, but only in cases where your ad may have loaded on a newsfeed before the end time, but the user hadn't scrolled to it yet. Ad scheduling defaults to showing during the user's time zone. So in this case, between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. where the user is. We can change to show our ads just during our time zone as well, But keep in mind that ads one country sees when their users are most online may be the middle of the night for others. Meta will default to showing ads during the user's time zone. Once you run a few ad sets, you'll be able to track their performance and optimize in the future for the best times to run them. In the next video, you'll learn how to estimate the size of the audience you can reach with your ad sets. When we created our new audience in the previous lesson, we saw how our selections affected our audience size, which is represented in the top right corner of Ads Manager. Audience definition gives an estimate of the size of the audience eligible to see our ads. And as we've been learning how to place our ads, optimize for delivery and cost control, and how to schedule, you may have noticed that the audience size adjusted as we made different choices. In this video, we'll take a close look at how you can estimate your audience reach in Ads Manager. To do that, let's return to our flower shop Calla and Ivy. This time, we'll create a new audience for them and see how our choices at the ad set level affect our audience size and daily results. First, we'll create a new campaign. Imra found that there was more interest than she anticipated in her online flower arranging course. So she's launching 5 new online courses available through the Calla and Ivy website. And we want to get people to the site to browse those options, so we'll set our objective to traffic. We've typically turned on Advantage Campaign Budget for past examples. We're going to leave it off so we can see how, in addition to the audience size estimation, Ads Manager also calculates an estimated daily reach for us. It won't do this if we use Advantage Campaign Budget, since that optimizes the budget across ad sets based on how ad sets performed over time. So daily reach isn't relevant in that case. Let's now head to the ad set level and set our budget and schedule. We'll choose lifetime budget so that we can set the specific times per day we want our ad to show. We'll set our start and end date. And let's actually increase our budget from $350 to $1,000, which will be spent over the month our ad runs. Our estimated daily results increase significantly. Of course, if there's more to spend, that means more ads being shown and more opportunities for people to take action. Let's now set up our audience. The default is targeting everyone in the country your ad account is based in this case, the United States. Given that, audience size starts us off at 230 to more than 260 million people, which is too broad. The audience definition indicates where we want to hit, somewhere in the green, to make sure that our estimated audience is small enough to really target the people we want to reach and not too small to be ineffective. We're going to create a new audience, and we'll start with defining our location. Since Calla and Ivy's online classes can be taken by everyone around the world, we could choose everyone everywhere. But we had talked in a previous lesson about targeting an audience from regions who visit our website the most. So let's do that again. So we'll include Europe and North America. Now we'll set the audience age at 30 to 55 and leave the gender to default to all. Our audience is narrowed, but not by much. But we'll see it significantly change as we start adding our detailed targeting criteria. This time, we're not going to start with flowers. And since the classes will be online, let's start with anyone interested in taking classes online. We'll select Online Learning Community from our list. That has now reduced our audience size a bit. Now we'll select Narrow Audience below so we can further target anyone interested in flowers, floral design, or flower bouquets. This targets people in the online learning audience who are also interested in flowers, floral design, or flower bouquets. When we click Advantage Detail Targeting Plus, we'll see our audience size jump way up. When you use this option, Meta will show you ad to additional people if Meta thinks it can get you more and or cheaper results. This doesn't mean that all those people receive your ad. This is just the base audience from which a subset will be shown your ad. We'll leave it off for now. Below the audience size, you can also see an estimated daily results section. This will help you estimate what your ad site reach may be, and what your estimated daily results, in this case link clicks, may be. This of course will change depending on the objective, placements, bids, delivery optimization, and other factors that you choose. Let's set our ad placements. Ads Manager will always default to Advantage Plus placements, which will distribute our ads across platforms in the most cost-effective way to us. But let's open up manual placements to configure where our ads will go. Let's look at platforms. We have all platforms set now, but if we take out Instagram, you can see that our audience size drops considerably. We'll lose out on reach and potential visits to our site. Let's now move on to optimization and delivery. First, our optimization for ad delivery is going to default to link clicks, since that's what we want, people to click our link and head to our website. What if we were to change this to landing page views? That action would also fit into what we want from our ad and might be a better option. You can see it adjusted our reach and gives us an estimated number of landing page views per day. We could broaden or narrow this by going back to our audience and adjusting the location, age, or detailed targeting. Here we can set our bid strategy if we desire to, or we can leave it blank and Meta will optimize our bidding for our budget. Once we start running ads, we can track performance to tweak our ad set options for the future. If we're finding that our audience is too narrow or we're spending too much money to get to them, we can broaden our audience by increasing the location, putting in a wider age range, or taking out some of our detailed targeting. We could also increase our budget. If we find that we're not getting enough actions taken, it could mean that we're not finding the right people. We can change our audience details. We even try creating a custom audience. Maybe we're also customizing too much and should let the meta optimization defaults work for us. There's always something to learn from one campaign to apply to the next. Congratulations, you've just completed another module and are one step closer to earning your Meta Social Media Marketing Professional Certificate. Let's briefly recap what we've covered this week. In Lesson 1, you became an ad audiences expert by covering all of the basics when it comes to creating your audience in Ads Manager and understanding the 3 audience targeting options in Ads Manager: new audiences, custom audiences, and lookalike audiences. You now also know what the meta pixel is and how it can increase the power of your audience targeting. In Lesson 2, you first learned how to choose the ad placements for your campaign in Ads Manager. We then went over a number of different options you have in Ads Manager to optimize the delivery of your ads. And you learned how to schedule your ad sets in Ads Manager and how to estimate your audience reach. Great job! Now that you've built a good understanding for the ad set level in Ads Manager, next week we'll move on to creating, monitoring, and editing your ads. See you then. Welcome back. This week we'll be walking through the process of creating your own ads in Ads Manager, and we'll learn how to evaluate your campaign success. Let's have a brief look at this week's lessons. In Lesson 1, we'll start off with going over the different ad formats that you can choose from in Ads Manager. And you then will learn how to create ads step by step. We'll also go over the basics of Facebook's ad policies so you know what to look out for when creating your campaigns. And we'll end Lesson 1 with learning how to edit and troubleshoot campaigns in Ads Manager. Then our focus shifts to monitoring and analyzing campaign performance in Lesson 2. We'll first learn what to find and how to read the results of your campaigns in Ads Manager, and we'll then evaluate and analyze the results of an example campaign and learn how your campaign objective determines your key metrics. Okay, enough of the overview, so let's get working. The first step in creating your actual ad in Ads Manager is choosing your ad format. Your ad formats will determine what your ad will look like when Meta shows it to prospective customers. By the end of this video, you should be familiar with the different ad formats available to you in Ads Manager. Ads Manager offers a wide range of ad formats for you to choose from, including single image, video or a slideshow, a carousel of 2 or more scrollable images or videos, and a collection. You can also add an instant experience, a full-screen mobile-optimized landing page, or an interactive augmented reality experience that opens instantly when people interact with your ad on mobile. Let's walk through the different formats and look at a few examples to get familiar with the ad format options you can choose from in Ads Manager. To create our ad and choose our ad format, we navigate to the ad level of the campaign creation process. First, the single image or video ad. This is also where you can create a slideshow ad out of images and videos. Let's begin with a single image ad. One image in an ad gives you a clean, simple format to use with an inspiring visual and engaging copy. This basic format is the most popular format, especially for organizations that are new to Meta and are still learning about what works for them and what doesn't. Creating an image ad is similar to creating a simple page post with a photo. With Ads Manager, you'll upload a great photo and add engaging text. Have a look at how a few different advertisers made use of the single image ad in these examples. One thing to keep in mind when creating images and videos for your ads is to choose the right aspect ratio, which refers to the width to height ratio of the ads. Different aspect ratios suit different placements and formats, and Meta provides recommended aspect ratios for different placements and formats, which we recommend using, and Ads Manager lets us preview them, and we'll go over this later. Your next option is the single video ad. Over 100 million hours of video are watched every day on Meta. That's more video than you could watch in 11,000 years. The single video ad format is designed to reflect the way people actually consume video, from bite-sized videos they watch on the go to longer video styles they watch on the couch. Check out these examples of how a few different advertisers made use of the single video ad in these examples. You will want to use video to make a memorable human connection with your viewers. Use it to tell stories, to show how people are using your products or services, to show the impact of your work, and to help people understand who you are as an organization. You can build trust and connections with your audience in this way. In Ads Manager, you will upload a video and add engaging text. And depending on the placement, there are certain length restrictions you want to keep in mind when creating your video. In-stream and stories videos can't be as long as those in Facebook feed, for example. Ads Manager also offers a video creation kit tool that you can use. If you want to leverage the power of video but without the time and production expense, the slideshow format can be a great choice. Slideshow ads are video-like ads that use motion, sound, and text to tell your story beautifully across devices on every connection speed. Creating a slideshow ad is easy. You'll just select up to 10 images or a video and automatically create a slideshow to tell a story that develops over time. You can even create a slideshow ad out of stock images available in Ads Manager or include an existing video. Another way to present multiple images or videos is the carousel ad format. The carousel format allows you to showcase up to 10 images or videos within a single ad, each with its own link. With more creative space within an ad, you can highlight different products, showcase specific details about one product, service, or promotion, or tell a story about your brand that develops across each carousel cart. The key advantage to this format is that you can put a call to action on each cart of the carousel, and this means you have the potential to drive people to different URLs based on what they're interested in. Here are some ways to use the carousel format. You can show multiple products, and this gives customers more options and encourages them to purchase things by showing a different product on each carousel cart with links to different landing pages. You can highlight different features of a single product. This uses each carousel card to show different product angles or provides details about products to better inform customers. You can tell a story. Use images or videos in succession to illustrate a compelling narrative. You can explain a process. Walk people through how your business or product works step by step. The last ad format is called the collection ad. Collection is an ad format that makes it easier for people to discover, browse, and purchase products and services from their mobile device in a visual and immersive way. With collections, people who tap on your ad can browse more products or learn more about the features of a specific product in a fast-loading, full-screen experience, all without leaving the Facebook app. A collection ad has a lead video image at the top, followed by 4 product images below. And if someone taps on the ad, it can open up a broader catalog of up to 50 different products. And then if they tap on a specific product, they'll be taken to the advertiser's website or app to make the purchase. Have a look at this example here. It's important to remember that the collection ads format is only available if you select one of 4 campaign objectives: awareness, traffic, leads, and sales. The collection ad automatically comes with what Meta calls Instant Experience. You can also add this feature to every other format. Instant Experience is basically a full-screen mobile optimized landing page that you can build directly in Ads Manager. And this experience opens instantly after someone taps your ad on a mobile device. Within that experience, people can watch videos, swipe through photos in a carousel, fill out forms, and explore images with tagged products. And Ads Manager offers a few different templates that make it easy to build an instant experience within just a few minutes. Check out these cool examples. Now we've covered the different ad formats: single image, video and slideshow, carousel, and collection. Next, let's put together our ad in Ads Manager and publish our campaign. Now that you have a good understanding of the different ad formats available in Ads Manager, it's time to create the actual ads. In this video, you'll learn how to do that step by step. We begin at the ad level in Ads Manager. First, in the identity section, choose how you want your business to be represented. All ads are required to have an associated Facebook page, so select your page here. You can also select an associated Instagram account from this dropdown. Next, choose whether you want to use a post you've previously posted on Facebook or Instagram as the basis of your ad, or you want to create an ad from scratch. Meta also has a platform for businesses to prepare ad designs called Creative Hub. If you had prepared an ad on Creative Hub, you could select the design here. We'll create one from scratch. To do that, we first have to pick the format of our ad. Here you now see the options we went through earlier: single image or video and slideshow, carousel or collection. We're creating a single image ad, so let's choose that. If you want to add an instant experience, the full screen mobile optimized landing page we discussed, you can do that by checking this box. Once you do that, Ads Manager presents different templates to you that you can edit, or you can create your own page from scratch. We'll skip this for now and send people to our own website instead. Next, we need to add the image, the copy, and the links for our ad. Let's start with the image. Here you see two different buttons. The first one that says Add Media allows us to pick the image for our ad, which we'll do in a moment. Clicking the second button guides you through a simple process of creating a video or slideshow ad. All you have to do is pick one of the pre-designed templates and add your own images and text. We'll focus on a single image ad for now. To add our image, we click on Add Media and then Add Image. If you wanted to create a single video ad instead, you would choose Add Video. In this pop-up screen, you see all the images that you have previously added to your ad account. And this allows you to easily reuse a photo without uploading it again. Meta also gives you access to a huge library of professional stock photos that you can use in your ads free of charge. Just type in a keyword that describes the image you have in mind and pick the one that best supports your message. Let's see what choices we have when we look for flower bouquets. There are literally hundreds of options here I could pick from for a campaign for Cal and Ivy. While it's super easy to pick just one of these photos, it's usually a much better idea to use your own photos if you have them. Especially when it comes to visual products, you want to showcase your unique products and give your audience a good idea of what the items actually look like. So in Cal and Ivy's case, we want to show one of their actual flower bouquets in our campaign. To add an image from our hard drive, we click on the Upload button here and then pick the photo to upload it. Next, we make sure that the image looks as best as possible in all the different placements. We can crop the image we've picked to make sure it looks great in a square, vertical, and horizontal format. You can also replace the image for a specific placement and upload a different one by clicking this button here. When you're happy with all the previews, click Next or Done. Depending on the campaign objective you've picked, you will now be presented with a number of options to automatically optimize your creative. Ads Manager calls this Advantage Plus Creative. And this feature automatically adjusts your ad creative for each person who views your ad to show them the version they're most likely to respond to. To do that, Meta makes use of its algorithm and observations from the initial phase of your campaign. You can choose to either individually turn on different optimizations, such as standard enhancements, brightness and contrast, music, and 3D animation, or use them all together. We generally recommend you turn on all optimizations, as this can help campaign performance. Now, let's add the copy to our ad. The three pieces of copy you can provide here: the primary text, the headline, and an optional description. Note that not all three elements will be shown in all placements, and they can also be shortened. As you write your copy, the preview on the right refreshes and gives you an idea of what the actual ad will look like. You can click through the different placements here. See how our primary text gets shortened on Facebook mobile newsfeed? And in the Instagram feed, for example, only the primary text is shown, also shortened. Click through the different previews to make sure your image looks great in all of them and that the most critical information is visible. If not, consider rewriting your copy and put the most important information in the beginning so it doesn't get cut. Once we're happy with what our ads look like, we need to add the destination for our ad. All we need to do is enter the URL for the web page we want people to visit. This landing page should be directly linked to what you want people to do after clicking your ad. If your URL is very long because you're linking to a sub page of your website, you can also choose to show a shorter display link by adding it in this field. The link should still go to the same domain as your website URL. A final step in creating our ad is picking a call to action button. You can pick one from the many options listed here, so choose the one that gets closest to what you want people to do. In our case, that's Shop Now. Please note that the CTA button won't be shown in all placements. Well, almost done. If you were advertising to audiences that speak different languages, you can add or generate automatic translations by clicking here. Below, we also have some advanced options to add URL parameters and tags for tracking. We'll skip these for now. Click on Review to see a summary of your whole campaign and make sure everything is set up correctly. Once you've confirmed that everything looks great, click on Publish to publish your campaign. If you do need to make changes, click Close and go back to the section where you need to make changes before publishing your campaign. And that's it. Our first campaign is live. Well, not quite. Meta will now review everything before your campaign goes live, and this can take up to 24 hours. In the next video, we'll discuss some of Meta's advertising policies so you know what to keep in mind when setting up your ad. Once you've published your campaign, you'll be taken back to your campaign's dashboard. And here you'll probably see your campaign listed as scheduled or as in review. By the end of this video, we'll know how to edit and troubleshoot our campaigns while they're both in review and active. As a reminder, you can access your campaigns, ad sets, and ads by going to the campaign overview in Ads Manager and then clicking on the respective tabs. These tabs will show your past and current campaigns. They'll also show your ad sets and ads, as well as all related metrics. These tabs are where you can view and compare the performance of different ads and campaigns. We'll do that together in the next lesson. In this video, we'll focus on making sure your campaign is running properly and on learning how to add more ad sets and ads to your campaign and edit existing ones. First, have a look at this toggle in the column on the left. This toggle allows you to quickly switch a campaign ad set or ad on or off. It works independently of the schedule or budget you've set. If the toggle is blue, the respective campaign, ad set, or ad is turned on. If the toggle is gray, it's turned off. If you turn off a campaign, it will also stop all the ads and ad sets in that campaign from publishing. And when your campaign ad set or ad is off, you will also see the word inactive in the delivery column. The delivery column is where you can check the status of your campaign, ad set, or ad, and find information about any problems. Let's go through the most common statuses you may see here other than inactive. In review. This means the ad is in review to make sure it complies with Meta's advertising policies. Following this review, your ad will become active and begin running as scheduled. Processing. The ad is being updated with the changes you made. Usually that takes a few minutes, but some updates may take up to 8 hours. Once processing is complete, your ad status will be updated to confirm if it's now active, in review, or has errors. Rejected. This means the ad can't run because it doesn't comply with Meta's advertising policies. If your ad is rejected, you should edit it so it meets the advertising policies. Editing your ads and saving your changes will resubmit the ad to be reviewed again. You'll also receive an email from Meta that explains why your ad was rejected, so you should use that information to guide you during your editing. And I'll show you how to edit your published ads in a moment. Learning limited. The ad set didn't generate enough results to exit the learning phase. Scheduled. This means your ad set is scheduled to run at a future date. You can edit the ad set to change its schedule. Completed. This basically means your campaign has run its course and is done. Your campaign, ad set, or ad is no longer running because the scheduled end date has passed. Active. This means your ad is running normally, or your campaign or ad sets contain at least one ad that is running. Before your ad sets are considered active, they'll go through a learning phase first, indicated by the delivery status learning. During this period, the delivery system explores and optimizes the best way to deliver your ads. Performance is less stable during this time period, and metrics are usually worse. While the delivery system never stops learning about the best way to deliver an ad set, ad sets exit the learning phase as soon as performance stabilizes. And that usually happens after around 50 optimization events since its last significant edit. So it's important to remember that when you make significant changes to your ad set, the learning phase starts again from zero. If an ad set didn't generate enough results to exit the learning phase, you will see the status learning limited. And this is an indication that your budget isn't being spent effectively because the ad delivery system can't fully optimize performance with your current setup. An ad set becomes learning limited when it's unlikely to receive around 50 optimization events in the week after your last significant edit. There are multiple ways to fix learning limited ad sets to improve performance. To fix learning limited, you can combine ad sets and campaigns, target a larger audience, change to automatic placements as a way to increase your audience size, raise your budget so it's big enough to receive around 50 optimization events per week, and if you use bid or cost control, raise your bid or cost limit. Finally, consider changing your optimization event to something earlier in the customer journey. For example, optimize for adding an item to cart instead of making a purchase. If your ad set marked learning limited now receives 50 optimization events after your last significant edit, it will move from learning limited to active. Next, let's have a look at how you can edit your existing campaigns, ad sets, or ads. Let's start at the campaign level. When you hover with your mouse over the name of your campaign, you have a few different options. You can easily change the name of the campaign by clicking on the pen here. You can view charts to understand the campaign's performance, which we'll do in the next lesson. And if you want to edit your campaign, like for example change its budget, click on Edit. And this takes you back to a screen similar to the first step of the campaign creation process. You can now make any changes by going to the respective section on the left-hand side and then make adjustments to your campaign, ad set, or ad. Once you're done, don't forget to click the green Publish button at the bottom. You can also click Close on the bottom left and then review and publish all your changes later by clicking the button up here. If you want to duplicate a whole campaign with all of its ad sets and ads, then just click on Duplicate and confirm your choice. Don't forget to review your budget and schedule to make sure that it still fits your needs. Next, let's move to the ad set level. It's helpful to pick the campaign first before going to the ad set level, otherwise it can be hard to identify which ad set belongs to which campaign. Now you see all the ad sets that belong to the campaign you've selected. You now basically have the same options that you had at the campaign level. You can change the name of the ad set, have a closer look at some of the performance metrics of the ad set, edit, and duplicate it. You can also add additional ad sets to the campaign you've selected. For example, you may want to test a separate ad set that is targeting a different audience. To do that, just click the green Create button and you will be taken to the campaign creation process we're already familiar with. The only difference is that it now starts at the ad set level. Make all your choices at the ad set level and then move to the ad level. Once you're done, review your work and publish it. Meta will then review your ad set and ads again before they go live. Finally, let's have a look at the ad level. Now we see all the ads that are part of the ad set we've selected. You now again have the same options you've seen earlier. You can change the name of the ad, have a closer look at some of the performance metrics of the ad, edit, and duplicate it. You can also add additional ads to the ad set you have selected by clicking the green Create button. Now we know how to edit and troubleshoot campaigns after we've published them. In the next lesson, you'll learn how to monitor and analyze your campaign results. In this lesson, we'll have a closer look at and learn how to understand some of our campaign's performance metrics and results. To do this, we'll start at the campaigns dashboard in Ads Manager. And by default, you'll see a number of columns in Ads Manager that run from left to right. We're going to go through them and explain the most important ones. You're already familiar with the first two, the campaign and the delivery column. Next, you'll see the bid strategy column. And this shows the bid strategy you've selected for each campaign. As a reminder, a bid strategy describes the way you want Meta to bid in the ad auction, based on your cost goals and the optimization event you chose. In this case, we're running a highest volume campaign, so that's what's indicated here. The next column displays your campaign budget. This is the maximum amount you're willing to spend on your ad sets or campaigns. It covers the average you're willing to spend each day or what you're willing to spend over your campaigns or ad sets lifetime. Next, we'll get into the actual performance metrics. We'll start with the results. The results column measures the number of outcomes you've achieved with your campaign. The metric you see in this column is based on the campaign objective or optimization that you've selected when you created your campaign. For example, if you selected sales as your campaign objective, the results metrics may show the number of purchases that happened as a result of someone seeing your ad. In our case, we optimized for traffic, so the metric you see here is the number of link clicks. In the next column, we see the reach a campaign has achieved. That's the number of people who saw your ads at least once. It's important to remember that reach is different from impressions. Impressions is the metric we see in the next column, and it indicates the number of times your ad was shown on screen. This does include the ad being displayed multiple times to the same people. Reach measures the number of people that saw your ad. Because of that, an ad's reach can never be bigger than its number of impressions. We can even do some quick math here. If our reach was 10,000 and our campaign received 20,000 impressions, then each person who one of our ads was shown to on average was shown it twice. Next, we see the cost per result. This is the average amount it costs to achieve your key result, like getting someone to click a link or buy a product. Ads Manager calculates this by dividing the number in the amount spent column, which we can see on the right, by the number in the results column. For example, if you spend $100 for a conversion ad and you receive 50 conversions as a result, your cost per result would be $2. That's what would appear in this column. The amount spent column then gives you the estimated total amount of money you've spent on your campaign, ad set, or ad during its schedule. If your campaign is currently running, this metric may be an estimate, since it can take up to 48 hours for metrics to be processed. Next, we have the ends column. And this is where you'll find the date your campaign is scheduled to stop running. The campaign's end date is based on the schedule you chose in the campaign's ad set. If you didn't set an end date, this column will read ongoing. All of the metrics we just discussed are displayed for every campaign that was active during a given date range. In our case, that's the last 30 days. With a date range filter, you can set the time period for which you'd like to view metrics. Click on the button in the top right corner, which shows the current date range to change it. You can set it to dates that range from today to your campaign's entire lifetime. Now let's take a look at the bottom row of the campaign tab. Every campaign is shown in a separate row, and the last row will sum up all the metrics for you. You can see how much money you've spent and how many people you've reached for the time period. Results will only be added up if all your campaigns were optimized for the same result. This is a lot of data. To help you stay on top of the metrics that matter to you most, Ads Manager comes with a few useful control features. First, you have the search option at the top of the campaign page. This makes it easy to find any campaign, ad set, or ad you're looking for by its name or ID. You just click on what you want to search, such as a campaign name, and then enter your search term. Second, you can use the filter feature. Ads Manager comes with a long list of predefined filters you can pick from. Each of the filter categories you see here has subcategories, such as objectives, sales, or audience age 35 to 44. You can add multiple filters to help you uncover specific insights. Third, you can change the columns shown to you. To do this, go to the Columns button on the right side of the page. The default columns report is the performance report. You can also pick from other predefined sets of columns. And if you pick engagement, for example, you see all the metrics that describe how often your posts were liked, saved, or shared. You can also customize the columns you see by clicking on Customize Columns. One final control feature we want to check out is the breakdown. You can find this button to the right of the columns one on the right side of the page. Its drop-down menu options allow you to break down the performance of your campaign by time, who it was delivered to, and what actions people took on your ad. When you pick breakdown by week, for example, Ads Manager will break down all data by each week that your ads were active. Each row here shows you the data for a specific week. And this can be a handy tool to compare performance across different time periods or audiences. In the next video, we'll have a look at the results of an example campaign so you get a better understanding of how to evaluate and analyze your campaign results. Now that you've learned the basics of your campaign results in Ads Manager, let's walk through an example campaign. By the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of how to evaluate and analyze your campaign results in Ads Manager. But before we have a closer look at campaign results, let's first get to know the actual campaign that produced those results. InnoNico have been running a conversion campaign for about a week. Their goal was to get people in their target audience to request the latest catalog on their website that features all of their new products for pet lovers. Their campaign consists of 2 ad sets with 2 ads each. The first ad set targets cat owners between the ages of 20 and 49 who are living in the United States. The second ad set targets dog owners, also between the ages of 20 and 49, also living in the United States. Each ad set consists of 2 image ads, each showing a different image of cats or dogs. The campaign utilizes the Meta Pixel to optimize for the catalog request event that they placed on the website, telling Meta to get them as many catalog requests as possible. The Pixel sends a signal to Ads Manager when someone completes the request form on their landing page so we can see how many conversions we've received. This campaign was active for about a week. Let's now have a look at the results it brought. We start at the campaign level. Here we can see our campaign, named InnoNico Catalog Requests. The delivery column tells us that this campaign is still active. The data we're looking at, indicated by the date range filter in the top right, is from a 7-day period, September 4 to September 10. We could also pick a different time period using this filter. The budget for this campaign was set as a daily budget of $300, and throughout these 7 days, a total of $1,954.58 was spent, which can be seen in the amount spent column. You might be wondering why this is not $2,100, because that's what 7 times $300 would get us to. Well, it's likely that InnoNico started to run this campaign midday on September 4, so for the first of the 7 days, Meta didn't spend the full budget. Let's now understand what results InnoNico got for the amount they spent. In the results column, we can see that they have received a total of 233 catalog requests. And if we look at the cost per results column, we learn that each of these catalog requests cost InnoNico $8.39. We would also get to the $8.39 by dividing the amount spent by the number of results. Whether paying $8.39 per catalog request is a good or not so good investment for InnoNico depends on a few factors. How many of these catalog requests turned into purchases? How much does one buyer purchase on average? And how much profit do InnoNico make on an average purchase? Then they can calculate whether this campaign brought them additional revenue and, more importantly, profit. And we've walked you through these calculations in our lesson on budgets. Also at the campaign level, we can see how many people InnoNico have reached with their campaign, about 103,000, and how many impressions their campaign has received, about 176,000. We can also learn that their campaign has received about 1,631 link clicks for the amount spent. Given that InnoNico's primary objective were conversions, these metrics are somewhat secondary. They can help you evaluate campaign performance and health over time though, and we'll have a closer look at that later in this lesson. For now, let's dive one level deeper into the ad sets for this campaign. And here we can see the 2 ad sets we outlined earlier. The first targeting cat owners, and the second one dog owners. In the third row, you can see the results from both of these ad sets combined. In other words, these are our campaign results we've seen earlier. 233 catalog requests at $8.39 each. If we now compare these 2 ad sets, we can see some interesting differences. First of all, we can see that the amount spent wasn't distributed equally. Meta has spent more money on the ad set targeting cat owners. And this is because the campaign was set up using Advantage Campaign Budget. As you might recall, with Advantage Campaign Budget, Meta will distribute the budget across ad sets to get more results. And if we now compare how both of these ad sets performed, we can see that the ad set targeting cat owners performed better than the one targeting dog owners. While the cat owner ad set brought in 156 catalog requests at $7.52 per request, the dog owner ad set only brought in 77 catalog requests at $10.15 per request. The blend of the two got us to the average of $8.39 per request. Now, does this mean that going forward, InnoNico should have only been targeting cat owners? Well, not necessarily. If dog owners who request a catalog end up becoming buyers more frequently or spend more with InnoNico on average, they might even be a more profitable target audience for InnoNico than cat owners. So it's important to understand how someone behaves and what results they generate for your business after they've completed the campaign objective. Also, there's a limit to the number of cat owners that engage with InnoNico's ads. So if the business wants to continuously grow over time, it's a good idea to expand their target audience to keep growing. Let's now take our analysis one level deeper by having a look at the ads that are part of the cat owner ad set. Each of the first two rows shows the results for the individual ads. The first one using an image of a single cat as their creative, the second one an image of a group of cats. In the third row, you can see the results from both of these ads combined. In other words, these are the results of the ad set targeting cat owners that we've seen earlier. 156 catalog requests at $7.52 each. If we now compare these two ads, we can see that they performed a bit differently. Well, the ad with a group of cats brought in 94 catalog requests at $7.04 per request. The single cat ad only brought in 62 catalog requests at $8.25 per request. The blend of the two got us to an average of $7.52 per catalog request. Given that one of these ads performed better than the other, Meta shifted more budget to the better performing one, resulting in a higher amount spent for that ad. While we don't know why exactly one image performed better than the other, in their next campaign, InnoNico could try other variations of the winning ad. They could try other images of groups of cats, or try other images showing cats of the same cat breed. Or they keep the winning image the same and try different copy variations to further optimize ad performance. In this video, we've evaluated the campaign performance based on the specific result InnoNico were going after: catalog requests and the price per request. But what if you have a different business goal? Well, we'll discuss that in the next video. As you've learned in this course, Ads Manager lets you choose from a number of campaign objectives. And depending on the objective you set for your campaign, Facebook will let you select between different ad delivery optimization options at the ad set level, as we've seen earlier. Your objective and optimization choice will directly influence who sees your ads. You're basically telling Facebook to get you as many or much of the result you choose as efficiently as possible. Now that you know what you want to achieve, you can also evaluate the success of your campaign. And as we've seen in the last video, the key metrics to look at when evaluating your campaign success are results and cost per result. Results are the number of times that your ad achieved an outcome based on the objective and delivery optimization settings that you selected. Cost per result indicates how efficiently you achieved the objective that you set for your ad campaign. It is the ratio of total amount spent to number of results. In this video, we'll walk you through some of the most common combinations of campaign objective and ad delivery optimization, so you get a better idea of what results you would be measuring. Let's begin with a brand awareness objective. The brand awareness objective is designed for advertisers who want to find people who are more likely to remember their ads. The ad delivery for brand awareness campaigns is always optimized for the so-called ad recall lift. In other words, your ads are shown to the people Facebook estimates would remember seeing your ad if they were asked within 2 days. If you run a brand awareness campaign, the key metric you would look at is the estimated ad recall lift, which is the estimated number of people likely to remember your ads within 2 days. To evaluate how efficient your campaign was, you would look at the cost per estimated ad recall lift, which is the average cost for each estimated ad recall lift. If you now run multiple ad sets and ads in parallel, you can, for example, evaluate which audiences are more likely to remember your ads or which creatives tend to be more memorable. Next, let's discuss the traffic objective. And this lets you drive people from Facebook or Instagram to any URL that you choose, like a website's landing page or a blog post. For traffic campaigns, you have a number of options to optimize ad delivery. The two most common ones are link clicks and landing page views. If you choose link clicks, then your ad will be shown to the people most likely to click on them. If you choose landing page views, then your ad will be shown to the people most likely to click on them and load the landing page. And the page view information is provided by the Facebook pixel, so it needs to be embedded in the landing page in order for you to use the optimization. If you run a traffic campaign, the key metric you would look at is now either the number of link clicks or the number of landing page views. And to evaluate how efficient your campaign was and which ad set or ad was best at driving results, you would analyze the cost per click or the cost per landing page view. And this is the amount spent divided by the number of link clicks or landing page views your ad has received. Next, we have the engagement objective. And you select this objective when you want to reach people who are more likely to engage with your post, page, or event invitation. And there are 3 different types of engagement campaigns in Ads Manager, each with their own ad delivery optimization and respective key metric. First, if you want to drive engagement on a specific post you're promoting, then you would optimize ad delivery for post engagement. The key metrics you would look at to evaluate your campaign success are the number of post engagements you've received and the cost per post engagement. All reactions, comments, shares, and clicks on your post are counted as post engagements. Second, if you want to increase the number of likes your Facebook business page has, you would optimize ad delivery for page likes. And the key metrics you would analyze when evaluating campaign success are the number of page likes and the cost per page like. And this counts both likes that happen directly on the page after seeing your ad and likes that happen on the page like button in your ad. Third, if you're promoting an event and would like to increase the number of responses, you would optimize ad delivery for event responses. An event response is defined as the number of people who responded interested or going to your Facebook event. The key metrics you would look at here are the number of event responses you've received and the cost per event response. The final objective we'll briefly cover is conversions. And the campaign we evaluated in the previous video was a conversion campaign. In that example, Inna and Nico wanted to drive catalog requests on a specific landing page they had set up. To evaluate campaign success, we looked at the number of catalog requests and the cost per catalog request. However, business goals for conversion campaigns can vary a lot based on what pixel event you optimize for. This can range from adding items to a basket, registering through a form, or making a purchase. The action you would like people to take on your website after seeing your ad is called an event that you define in Ads Manager and that is tracked by the Facebook pixel. When it now comes to evaluating your conversion campaign success, you would look at the number of conversion events you've received, in Nico's case, catalog requests, and you would analyze the cost per conversion event. There are more campaign objectives and options for ad delivery optimization to choose from than what we've covered in this video, but I hope you got the general idea. The one thing to remember is that the key metrics to look at are always tied to what you would like to achieve, your results and the cost per result. You've made it to the end of Module 4. Great work. This week you made significant progress on your journey to creating ads with Ads Manager. Let's look at what we've covered. In Lesson 1, you first learned about the different ad formats you can choose from in Ads Manager. Single image, single video, slideshow, carousel, and collection. We then went on to create ads in Ads Manager step by step. We also went over the basics of Meta's ad policies and covered some common policies that govern the content you can display in your ad. We ended the lesson with learning how to edit and troubleshoot campaigns in Ads Manager. Lesson 2 was all about monitoring and analyzing campaign performance. We first learned where to find and how to read the results of your campaigns in Ads Manager, and we then had a look at an example campaign and evaluated and analyzed the results at the campaign, ad set, and ad level. Finally, you learn how your campaign objective determines your key metrics. Now that we've covered all 3 levels of a campaign in detail in the past 3 modules, it's time to put it all together in the next module. Next week, we'll be doing a full rundown in Ads Manager, so keep following along. See you then. Welcome to the final module of this course on advertising with Meta Ads Manager. This week, you're going to complete your own project. You'll be tasked with setting up a campaign in Ads Manager based on a case study we'll provide. But before it's time to build your own campaign, we'll walk you through setting up a campaign in Ads Manager beginning to end, so you can see how all you've learned in this course fits together. Let's start by looking at the brief for this example campaign in the next video. In this video, we'll plan the campaign we're going to build and implement in Ads Manager in the next video. Inno and Nico are having a limited fall sale where they're selling some of their merchandise with a discount of up to 50%. The sale is limited to a 2-week period, and their goal is to generate at least 280 sales. They're budgeting $500 a day and want the campaign to run from October 1st to October 14th. The destination for this campaign is a special landing page that they have created that lists all products that are currently on sale. Inno and Nico have also embedded their Meta Pixel on their website and have created a conversion event that is counted in Ads Manager whenever someone makes a purchase. Now, to make sure Inno and Nico are targeting people who are already familiar with our brand and their products, they've prepared a custom audience for us to use. This custom audience includes people who've visited their website in the past 90 days. In terms of placements, Inno and Nico would like to use Advantage Plus placements, so that Meta's delivery system allocates their budget across multiple placements based on where they're likely to perform best. For the ad creative, we will utilize dynamic creatives. Inno and Nico have provided a number of creative elements, such as images and headlines, for us to use. And once we've added them to Ads Manager, Meta will automatically generate multiple combinations optimized for the audience we would like to reach. You'll later see how that works. As call to action, they would like us to pick Shop Now. And in the next video, we'll turn this brief into a campaign in Ads Manager. It's now time to build and implement the campaign we've outlined in the last video in Meta Ads Manager. And by the end of this video, you should have a good idea of how to set up a campaign in Ads Manager from beginning to end. First, we need to choose our campaign objective. Given that Inno and Nico would like to generate sales on their website, we'll pick a conversions objective. Let's pick sales. Next, let's give the campaign a name that makes it easy to recognize later. I'll name it Fall Sale 2022. In this example, we'll only set up one ad set, but in case we want to add more ad sets later, I will turn on Advantage Campaign Budget Plus. And this will optimize our budget across our ad sets. Next, let's set our campaign budget to a daily budget of $500. And we keep the campaign bid strategy at highest volume. Click Next to move to the ad set level. First, let's give the ad set a name. I will name this Website Visitors Past 90 Days US. Next, we need to select what we want people to do after seeing our ad and where we want the ad to take them. First, let's set the destination as website, given that we want people to visit Inno and Nico's fall sale landing page. We'll then make sure to optimize the delivery of our ads based on conversions, in our case, sales. To measure completed purchases, we have to pick the conversion event that gets triggered by Inno and Nico's Meta Pixel when someone makes a purchase. Next, turn on the toggle for dynamic creative. This will allow us to provide a number of different images and copy pieces, and Meta will automatically generate combinations optimized for our target audience. Click Continue to confirm. Let's continue to the budget and schedule section. Given we have set the budget at the campaign level, all we have to do here is set our schedule. Inno and Nico want the campaign to run from October 1st to October 14th. So let's pick Set an End Date and put in these dates. Now it's time to pick the audience. Here you can either create your audience using all the targeting features we've seen earlier, or use a saved audience. Inno and Nico have prepared a custom audience for us to use. This custom audience includes people who've visited their website in the past 90 days. Inno and Nico uploaded the custom audience in the audience tool earlier, so we can pick it from saved audiences here. Next, we'll pick the placements. In most cases, Advantage Plus placements is your best choice. This lets Meta's delivery system allocate your budget across multiple placements based on where they're likely to perform best. And this is also what InnoNico would like to do us for their campaign. The final section at the ad set level is optimization and delivery. Here we pick our optimization for ad delivery. Meta defaults to conversions, which is what we want. And given that we're running a campaign using the highest volume bid strategy, we also don't have to set a cost control. Now let's click Next to get to the ad level. First, let's give the ad a name. I will name it Fall Sale 2022 Dynamic Image Ad. Next, make sure that our business is represented correctly in our ads. To do that, pick the correct Facebook page from the dropdown here. And if your business also has an Instagram business account, pick it from this dropdown. Alternatively, choose Use Selected Page. In this case, ads on Instagram will use the Facebook page name and profile picture, as well as details like the description and number of followers. Next, we pick the format of our ad, such as a single image or video, a carousel or collection ad. When you choose a dynamic creative, the collection ad format is not available. We'll go with single image. Now let's design the actual ad. First, we can provide up to 10 images or videos for the different versions of our ad. InnoNico's designer has prepared 3 different creatives for us to use that they've already uploaded to the ad account. To select these, click on Select Images and then pick them from the library. You could also upload additional creatives here or search by name. After we've made our selection, we click on Continue. Next, we'll provide the different versions of the copy for our ad. First, let's add the first version of our primary text. We'll add a second version of the primary text by clicking Add Text option, and you can add a total of 5 different texts. On the right-hand side, you can see a preview of our ad as we build it. You can click through the different placements as well to get an idea of what it looks like, for example, in the Instagram feed or stories. Next, let's add a couple of headlines. Note that headlines won't appear in all placements, and remember to keep them pretty short. After providing the first version, I'll add another one by clicking Add Headline option. Next, let's add 2 different link descriptions to emphasize why people should visit our website. And note that descriptions won't appear in all placements. A couple of steps are left and we can publish our campaign. First, we need to add the URL of the website we want to send people to. And given we're advertising a fall sale, we'll add the URL of the fall sale landing page. Second, we have the option to add a display link. This allows us to show a shortened link instead of the full website URL. And note that the link should go to the same domain as our website URL. And see how the ad shows the display URL now? Our last step is to pick a call to action button. Given we want people to purchase items, we'll go with Shop Now. We could also select additional CTAs as part of the dynamic ad. And with that, we've successfully set up InnoNico's fall sale campaign. Before we click on Confirm to publish our campaign, let's click on Review to make sure everything is set up correctly. If everything looks great, we can click on Publish and Meta will review our campaign before publishing it. I hope this video has given you a good idea of how to set up a campaign in Ads Manager from beginning to end. You have an opportunity to practice working with Ads Manager in your course project. Welcome to your project. In this course, we've covered all the key aspects of planning, building, managing, and optimizing a campaign in Meta Ads Manager. You've learned how to pick the right campaign objective, determine your budget and schedule, and how to define your target audience in multiple ways. You understand the different ad placements and the different ad formats you can choose from, how to create your ads in Ads Manager, and how to evaluate your campaign results. Time to put what you've learned into practice. In this project, you'll have the opportunity to set up your own campaign in Meta Ads Manager. And to do that, we've created a safe simulation environment that allows you to build a campaign without the need of an ad account or a credit card. After you've built your campaign, you'll complete a quiz to evaluate whether you've mastered all the concepts we've covered in this course. Both the simulation and the quiz should help to prepare you well for the Meta Certified Digital Marketing Associate exam. Enjoy the project. Congratulations, you've completed this course on advertising with Meta. And you've covered a lot of ground here. This course is an essential part of our Meta Social Media Marketing Professional Certificate. And you now know all the steps it takes to plan, create, run, manage, and optimize a campaign using Meta Ads Manager. You've learned how campaigns are structured in Ads Manager and what role campaigns, ad sets, and ads play. You know how to align your business goals with the campaign objectives offered in Ads Manager. And you understand how to calculate your campaign budget and how to set it in Ads Manager. And you've learned what bidding strategies you can utilize in the ad auction. You've also built a solid understanding of the different audience targeting options available in Ads Manager and how to set up new, custom, and lookalike audiences. You learned how to choose the ad placements for your campaign and how to set up the schedule it runs on. You know what ad formats are available in Ads Manager and how to create ads step by step. We also took the first steps at monitoring and analyzing the most important campaign metrics. And finally, you rolled up your sleeves and applied all you've learned in this course in the project and built a campaign beginning to end. This was a lot of ground we've covered. Awesome job. In the next course, you'll have a much closer look at the results of your marketing efforts. Anke will take you on a deep dive into measuring and optimizing the performance of your social media marketing campaigns. Keep on learning.
Now that you're ready with this course, what's next? Well, I hope you are excited to learn more about marketing with social media. This course is part of a larger program that prepares you for jobs in social media marketing. It consists of 6 courses. You now understand the fundamentals of social media advertising and how advertising works on Meta. Next, we'll look at how you can measure and evaluate the success of your efforts. After that, you'll find the final course in this program. In that course, we won't cover anything new, but you'll get to practice your new skills in a project and we'll help you get ready for the Meta Digital Marketing Associate Certification exam. In the meantime, if you would like to get ready to apply for a job, we've created a course that will help you determine what you're looking for in a new job, write your resume and cover letter, and plan for networking and outreach to help you land your new role. You'll find all the links to the courses in the reading that follows, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the course that you embark on next.